Oh yeah. It's getting spooky. It's spooky over here at Lake Slasher. Let's get ready for some ogres. Let's have some fun in the last embargo of Total War Warhammer 3. Let's show off these sweet, hot ogre kingdoms. The pinup girls you've always wanted. Let's have some fun. But before we have fun, before we consume everything in sight, before we eat everything we can possibly fucking see, what do? We consume something else. We consume the small head of a bunny in Sneak Energy. Head on over to www.sneakenergy.com. Use critter code SPARTY at checkout. Help support the channel. We're going to have some fun here today, guys. We got some fun to do. We're going to be playing some ogres. And we're going to start with SKRAG, who I personally feel is the more interesting and more fun of both these ogres. So let's have some fun here. We're going to go through, let me make sure this is set up properly. And we'll turn off that preview. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys SKRAG. We're going to go through his little campaign here. We're going to play through this. If you want a spoiler-free version of this, it'll be up tomorrow. Greasus is up right now, so you can look at my Greasus coverage so you can get an idea of which of the two ogres you want to play when Total War Warhammer 3 comes out without having anything. These massive long intros are why I often switch off Sparty streams. That's okay, Chris, because that's just the way it's always going to be. I'm not going to start the stream and start talking. I'm going to have a 5-minute ramp up. If that bothers you, that's okay. There are plenty of other streamers you can watch. That is just the way I operate. So we'll be watching through SKRAG right now. We're going to go through his faction effects and then his lord effects. And then we're going to go ahead and press start campaign. We'll go through the initial intro and then we'll have the actual intro that follows that. So this is a way to have a chance to see SKRAG before it jumps out here in what, 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it is. So here we go. SKRAG the Slaughterer, faction effects, campaign movement range plus 10% all characters, hero capacity plus 1 for butchers and recruitment rank plus 2 for butchers, lord effects, casualty replenishment rate plus 8% for gorgers, and upkeep minus 50% for gorgers. Now lord effects obviously do apply to only SKRAG's army, of course, and gorgers are disgustingly strong. I love them quite a bit. Now the difficulty, we will only be playing on hard because this is just kind of a little preview. There's no reason to go hard in the paint right here. And I think even when we do start, we'll only probably do very hard, if that. So here we go. The Ogre Kingdoms, a group of greedy, brutish tribes that fight with each other over riches and meat, are found on the east across the mountains of Morn. Oft-times their violence spills out beyond the mountains, and so the ogres roam far, occasionally even welcomed as mercenaries. SKRAG, the prophet of the Great Maw, is such a wanderer, and that is why he makes such an ideal candidate for this quest. I trek across the Chaos Wastes, avoiding the slave patrols in the Dark Lands, and at last reach the Ogre Kingdoms. I fear I will not have long to make my case before the audience gets hungry. And Captain Diabetes, thank you very much for opening us up with a 50 Norwegian kronu donation, brother, here. Let me go ahead and press continue, and I'll read your thing after this.
The ogres feast to honor Greasus the Over-Tyrant. Their appetites are ferocious. I must be wary.
Time's up, wizard.
No.
Put him in the stew.
Wait! Untold power can be harnessed from a dying god.
Power? Ogres take what they want. What more power do we need? Boil the pot! Fresh meat!
Please wait! The god is up there! You can't devour it!
Quiet! A bear, you say?
Yo, this art's impressive as fuck.
Shut up! And you meat god flesh.
Enough for you, your warriors, and your god, the Great Maw.
I can smell it now. Roast god ribs.
A feast like no other.
You're no meat eater. What's in it for you?
My book reveals a path to his deathbed. I will show you the way for one drop of Ursun's divine blood.
One drop. but ogres get the rest.
That is the deal. Our goal is to claim Ursun. The ogres will eat their weight in god flesh and throw the leftovers into the Great Maw.
Oh, Great Maw. What shall I do with this piece of gristle? Does it go in the pot? No. I say, first we listen to him. Then we can eat him.
If you need meat for your pot, then we should start with the dwarfs, Great Prophet. The Carracks will be tough to crack, but the taste is surely worth it. Further along the pass lie ruins. The Tome of Fates tells me that Skaven hide within. There isn't much flesh on the vermin, so you must slay plenty to fill the cauldron. And where the Grey Mountains end is the true treasure. Marienburg, a city rich in gold and supple flesh. Beyond lies the Empire. So much blood for your pot. Enough to summon the rifts and hunt for god meat in the realms of chaos. Of course, it is possible to bypass the dwarfs and head straight for the heart of the Empire, which is ripe for plunder. But perhaps that's a riskier strategy. Listen to your gut, Great One. Let its rumble guide you, and together we will seek Ursun and finally sate the Great Maw.
There we go. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's show off these ogres. So, honestly, by the way, that art was awesome. Like, I mean, all the art's been great so far, but for some reason that just looked like it was just straight out of the army book, which is really cool. Yes, you will be getting new Spartacus tutorials. Don't you worry, Xenix. They'll be coming out on launch day, day after launch. I have a video that I'm going to be making the day before launch that will chronicle a lot of the campaigns for you to give you an idea of which one you want to jump into as far as difficulty goes. So with the ogres, we have some mechanics we can go through really quick. There's not a ton, to be totally honest. So hovering over here, we have the meat, which is essentially your special resource. You'll use this to help enact your offers to the Great Maw. You'll also use it as a form of secondary upkeep for your army. And then lastly, you'll use it in between or before big battles because you would use it to buff your army, increase their speed, their charge bonus, what have you. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. So we'll click offer to the Great Maw and we get 4 different offerings that we can do. They're always the same offerings. They never change. They always cost the same, and they can also be their duration, everything can kind of be manipulated through research and what have you. But you can increase melee attack, campaign movement range, global recruitment duration reduction, and wins and magic power reserve increase. So we can go ahead and start one of these. Hey, Captain Vampirate, thank you very much for purchasing Total War Warhammer 3 through my Nexus store. As always, guys, if you have not yet pre-ordered or purchased Total War Warhammer 3, you can go ahead and purchase it through my Nexus store. It does help support the channel, so thank you very much for those who have done it or will do it. I always really appreciate it. Boris and Bellicor are already in the custom battle without playing the campaign. No, I think you have to play the campaign to get them. Nothing to do with the stream, but do you think Empire 2 will be in the future? Yeah, absolutely. So I jokingly asked Great Book of Grudges why I should buy the game through him instead of you. He said, fuck that. Italian Spartacus is my friend. Go buy it from him. Dude, honestly, like, all of us are like that. I have not I've not seen one content creator that would of our like kind of like core Total War Warhammer group that would directly disparage the other without saying like, hey, I just don't agree with their opinion, but I love that individual, right? Like I had an opinion about Mythos and Cody Bonds didn't share it, or Party Elite didn't share it, but they're still my really good friends, you know, like That's a really cool thing about this content creator community, except for Indie Pride. No one likes Indie Pride. No one likes Indie Pride, just me. I'm the only one that likes them. A joke. Indie Pride and I are firm friends. Firm friends. Really firm friends. We are Slaneshi level firm friends. Let's go ahead and go with melee attack. Just bloody raw. Although the campaign movement is probably superior here. Mark, thank you very much for becoming a Spartan here for a Crimson Hoplite. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel, my dude. The indie shaming. It always happens. Robbing friends. So we also get the big names mechanic. Now, if you don't... Here, I do have this for those that want to see it. Here is a list of the big names that I've created. So share. This is not the whole list. There are way more than this. And this is just simply some of the ones that I was able to smash into a doc here and give them to you guys. So you've got them right here if you so want them. In fact, let's go ahead and post this on the Reddit. I forgot to do this earlier today. Link. Oh. Baldy? You call me Baldy, Willie? What the fuck, man? So these big names, of course, like I've said, they will always be the same on your legendary lords, but they will be different on any of your tyrants. You do not get them on slaughter masters, only on your tyrants. And if you decide to make a tyrant, then it'll randomly have 4 big names. Those big names are not predicated upon anything. They'll just simply be there. So it's really cool because some of these names are pretty... Here, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. There we go. Press that. So here are some of the big names just to kind of show them off. Capture. So you've got some of them. I know my head's in the way, but this is only a sample of them. This is only a few. And oh, oops! Actually, I forgot to do this. Ever famished. End your turn with 50 meat. And then World Swallowers win 5 battles. Okay, we got to add that to the list here. So these again will be totally random. The only ones that you'll notice here that are Greasus, Goldtooth, and SKRAG on the right, those are exclusive to that legendary lord. They will always have them. They will not be random. Yeah, there's a fun one on here, as someone just pointed out. Archbelcher. It's a mystery. Passive ability, Archbelcher, which is a Hex leadership -8 and a 35-meter radius. And I've emboldened all the ones that are abilities. Now I've truly done that. But you can see this is just 38 of them. There's even more, like I said, and a lot of them will be linked to settlements. You have your typical kind of like run-of-the-mill stuff when it says like, okay, win a battle against. Those are they all exist for every single race, right? So win a battle against Cathay, Demons of Chaos, Dwarfs, Greenskins, Lizardmen, other Ogre Kingdoms, and it'll give you melee attack +12 when fighting against those respective races. So it is pretty cool if you played the tabletop version of Ogres and how they've kind of translated into Warhammer and how you just kind of have little mini objectives for your campaign for that specific lord. So it kind of galvanizes you to send that lord out into the wild unknown, which is quite cool. Okay, we'll close that. And reduce the size of this right here. Okay, perfect. And shut off that preview. Perfect. All right. Can you tell us Greasus' starting army? I apologize if you have already... Sam, I don't remember off the top of my head. He gets... Here. He gets... Stonehorn. He gets a Stonehorn. He gets an Iron Gut. And then he gets Crusher or Mournfang. He gets a cab unit. And then he gets some Noblar Trappers. So again, big names, you've got your criteria, you get your respective thing, and then you unlock it and click it on and turn it on, and it locks you in for 10 turns. You can swap it off if you so want, but you can't swap them. You can't just keep swapping them as you see fit. You just need to do it at a small turn cooldown. Now look at the building browser. All buildings in the Ogre Kingdoms are relegated to only 3 tiers. You have to make a camp to get access to a lot of the cooler, better things. So we'll go ahead and show that off once we get there. Our first technology here is Camp Huddle. We're going to do that because it unlocks our ability to make camps. That is crucial. Because camps enable you to have access to all of your tier 4 and 5 units. So that's how you get access to them. But your technology tree for the most part is very straightforward. It's got a little tiny tech, followed by a bunch, then a little tiny, then followed by a bunch, so on and so forth. Just kind of a quick rundown here. And then for skills, for SKRAG, he gets these. Everything, is for the most part, is pretty standard run-of-the-mill, right? You can see your blue line is your typical kind of blue line. Your growth, which is important because the camp mechanic works very similar to the Vampire Coast ships or the Black Arcs for the Dark Elves. So having growth in a local province would increase that of your camps, which is nice. Devouring Maw for corruption, Brutish Enforcers for control. Reader of Portents here gives him a research rate bonus. Your Lightning Strike, which is of course the Warhammer 3 one. Quartermaster for upkeep reduction. Master of Meat to increase the meat provided by camps by 150. Diviner of Omens to help out with income from all buildings, and then Renowned and Feared. And when it comes to your red line, everything is pretty standard fare here. Excuse me. Hold on. Had to get that morning sickness out of the way. And by sickness, I mean allergies. Nayar, what's up, man? Just came to say hello. I will watch that video later. It's St. Valentine, and I have to go for a romantic dinner. Have a good time, you all. Keep doing a great stream, and goodbye at times, Spartacus. Thank you very much, Nayar. Have a good one, dude. I appreciate it, my brother. Always good to see you. You down with the sickness? Wow. I can't even do that fucking voice, man. I'm just telling you I had a seizure instead. Like, the amount of skill that it takes to go, wow. It's unparalleled. We've never seen a vocalist as vocal as that in the vocal history of vocality. So again, for our red line, we get some bull charge. We get some, for the Ogre Bulls, for your Noblars, for the Mournfang Cav and Crushers, for your Lead Belchers, Nobbler, Scrap Launcher, and Iron Blasters, and then for your Iron Guts and Man-Eaters, your Saber Tusk Pack, Stonehounds and Gorgers, as well as Giants, Rally, then the typical corresponding rank 7 buff to all of it, then stand your ground. Now for your spells, we get Bull Gorger here, increases AP and melee attack. Blood Gruel, which is a lore attribute that heals. Brain Gobbler is going to give you a leadership reduction. Tooth Cracker is a great damage mitigator because it increases your armor and missile resistance by 30 and 22% respectively. Bone Crusher is basically like a foot of Gork but with a hammer or with a fist. Meat Cleaver increases your bonus versus infantry by 8. And so SKRAG already has 20. That puts him up to 28. Troll Guts is your health regen spell. The Maw is a big damage exploding AP damage spell. And then you get lastly Extra Ingredients, which is going to be a power recharge 160% and reserves per second plus 0.2. Duration 31 seconds. Then now for this top line, we get Gorger Onslaught, which allows you to summon Gorgers, which is quite strong. Driven by Visions gives you campaign movement range plus an additional 8%. Couple that with your innate ability as well as the offering, you can be just trucking around the map. Prophet of the Great Maw helps with Winds of Magic and cooldown of spell reduction. Offer of the Great Maw cost reduction by 20%. And then Cavern Dweller here. In his very top line, he gets a chance to increase his health with tolerance to toxins. Toothy Noblars helps with Winds of Magic recharge. Walking Larder increases his Winds of Magic power reserve. Whirling Stump Blades increases melee attack and weapon strength. We get Lookout Nobblers for missile resistance, Lucky Nobblers for physical resistance, and then Blessed by the Great Maw for spell resistance. And that, oh, and our quest item is the Cauldron of the Great Maw. Its passive ability here is the more damage that you do, is the more buff that it gives to your Gorgers, giving them heal and increase base and AP damage up to 20%. So it's quite fucking good. But now let's jump into this campaign and have some fun. Can ogres use underway? No, they cannot. But they can intercept the underway. Do you agree with Great Book of Creditors when he said a lot of spells in Warhammer 3 are overpriced in his war? You see, I kind of look at spells in a multiplayer sense. So I'm really not the best person to ask that, Requiem. Like, for instance, Legend of Total War says that Lore of Ice is garbage. Churn and I don't agree because we're looking at it from the lens of competitive multiplayer. We were talking about in the competition on Saturday how Ice we feel is a better lore. It has more applications in a pure PvP fight, but when it comes to an actual fight, or I'm sorry, not a fight, an actual like campaign battle, you know what? Tempest maybe makes more sense. I honestly don't really feel that I look at any spell in single player and go, oh, that's too overcost. I'm never going to really value it like that because of just the nature of multiplayer versus single player. There's like less stakes for me when it comes to single player because I got the chance to reload or rematch or do stuff like that. So I guess I don't really look at those types of things. Full Gorger 7. This is 6. Oh, this is upgraded. Here, let's do this. So this is 4, 4, 8, 10, 16, 20. I think that's all pretty. I think that's pretty standard fare, to be totally honest. Like, looking at Troll Guts at 16. Let's take a look at Lore of Life. Regrowth is 13, so it's 3 more wins in Magic for effectively something very similar. So, I think it kind of just depends on what your use case is. I don't feel like it's a bad lore at all. I think all of these are good lores. They just have very particular use cases. Yeah, that's kind of my thought process right here. Nothing is underpowered in single player. You can always make up for it. Make it up to par at least. It's like you've got so many ways to buff your wins in Magic. Even when it comes to multiplayer, Toothcracker and Troll Guts are just, they're king, right? You can use Bull Gorger too for a lot of damage, but you're going to use any kind of increased sustained for an army with low armor.
Meat and bone. Nothing.
Chase Pfeiffer, thank you very much for purchasing through that Nexus store, my dude. Let's go in and have some fun. Let's jump into an actual battle with these bad boys. Oh, also, here's your pre-battle feast. So you can increase your speed and unit mass as well as charge bonus all the way up to 10% using 5 food. It allocates basically 2% bonus per use of one of those food items. So we don't need any for this. We don't need that for these dwarfs.
I've only begun.
Thank you very much, Chase. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Spartacus, love the channel. Just thought I'd support one of the content creators that helped me fall in love with the Warhammer Fantasy universe and the 40K universe. Cheers. Well, thank you very much, dude. Very generous of you, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm glad I could introduce you to the crack cocaine that is Warhammer. And I'm sorry for your wallet at the same time because Warhammer is an endless draw upon the wallet.
I'll smell ya.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Hungry.
So we're playing with ultra unit sizes, as you guys have requested. And what you can see over here with these gorgers, let's take a look at these little gorgy pies. Over here in the lovely, what are these? These look to be like foxgloves, but I could be totally wrong on that. So let's take a look at the gorgers. Where the hell are the gorgers? God, man, I can't get a good shot of them. Alright, now when it comes to the gorgers here, they have got some great AP and anti-infantry. Also, they've got Frenzy. Also, they're unbreakable. Also, they've got Vanguard. Also, they've got Stock. And since they're gorgers, they will benefit from the healing capability of the Cauldron whenever you get it as SKRAG. It's so good. It is so, like, they are such a good unit in this game. Any lore videos in the future? Yes. I have quite a few planned. I have a I already have a DLC speculation video planned for the Warriors of Chaos, which will be rolling out once the game launches. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little spacey from Super Bowl yesterday. Look at these guys just sneaking in. Mark, my rig is in the comment section below. Or the description below. Dwarf's just getting hucked apart by knives over here.
Waste of meat! Dead and dead! Meal time! Godmouse request! SKRAG the slaughterer!
So, when they kill a dwarf, they'll throw it sometimes. They'll just straight up huck a dwarf. Come on, get in there, Gorgers. I'm trying to get you guys to actually attack instead of just fucking each other over there.
Servant of the Lord! Dragging the cauldron!
So one of my biggest problems with the ogres right now, there you go, there's it, there it goes, is that they interrupt each other's charge bonuses. They're so large that they'll just kind of displace one another. Hey, thank you very much, that guy you know, playing with the Ogre Kingdoms, more like Italian gluttonous. You son of a bitch. Thank you very much, guys. I'm seeing you guys purchasing the game through that Nexus store. Thank you so much. I know Nexus is doing a purchase thing, or like a tournament, a competition, I think on like the 15th or something. From the 15th ranging to a certain time, saying, hey, whoever gets the most sales will match, we'll give you a prize of money, but also we'll match your prize money with a donation to whatever charity you want, which is awesome. Thank you very much, Flask. Have a good one, dude. Yes, Captain, I will definitely do more Primarch videos in the future, but that future is far off. A lot of people have been asking me my Primarch videos, and I've made the statement that 40k lore is not the focus of this channel primarily. A lot of people have kind of come at me pretty aggressively over it, to be totally honest. But, you know, at the end of the day, I've been very vocal about how I'm pretty disenchanted with 40k right now. And how I don't even read, I don't even collect the models, I don't even paint anymore. In general, 40k fandom has kind of turned me off from the hobby. But I just have to rediscover it in my own time and come back to it in my own time. And I eventually will be making more lore videos for it, like I'm going to do Alfarius, but right now is just not that time. There's too many games and stuff to cover that actually make me money, versus 40k lore, which is fun for me to do, but it makes me zero money, and it opens me up to so much toxicity that I'm just not really... I'm not really about constantly opening that door. I like to do it when I have the story to tell, when I want to enjoy talking about it, but again, that's just not right now. I couldn't tell you why. Seriously, no. Whatever they decided to do that for, I suppose. I get that. I was stupid enough to ask about the Emperor on Reddit. I don't think I have to say more about it. I've done some AOS lore. I love AOS lore. The lore for the Lumineth I was going to do, but I just haven't got around it. Gregory Shin, thank you very much, man. $10 donation here saying, glad to see ogres and also enjoy your content. Well, thank you very much, my brother. There's no turn limit, Chase. I can do whatever I want now. Someone kind of had a very, like like pretty mean-spirited message. And I mean, it came from a good spot as far as like him saying, I love the way that you do Warhammer 40k lore, but it was also the way he kind of like was saying like, I'm disappointed in the way you're covering content on your channel. It's like, my channel, man. I can do exactly whatever I want. Until you're the one that's putting in the hours and time, it's not up to you. It's a free platform too, most importantly. So it's like, I just didn't really appreciate that approach. Like, you can definitely have an opinion on things you want to do on the things you want to see on the channel, but don't tell me like that this channel has gone downhill because of it, basically. And because Captain Diabetes did a donation here of 50 Norwegian kroner and requested that the first hero be named Diabetes Type 2, it is indeed Diabetes Type 2. My statement there sounded way more whiny and complainy than I intended it to. Yeah, you know, you can, as a YouTuber, it's really easy to fall into basically a trap of you listen to, you do something and you listen to the one person who has a disconsenting voice. You know, I could look at all of these comments that people say like, hey, I enjoy the stuff that you do and so on and so forth, but just as a subject of being a human and stuff like that, and you look at the one dissenting voice as something you need to change. You know, you're like, well, I got 500 comments that all praise the video, but this one comment probably holds more weight than all 500, and it's a terribly grammatically incorrect, horribly constructed sentence of, you not good, get good. And I'm like, oh, he's right, I gotta get good. Indeed, Mitchell Brown. Indeed, my guy. We could probably auto-resolve that one. And we will occupy this bad boy. But, I mean, it definitely took me time to realize that, right? To not even build a thick skin. Because, like I said, I came from sales. There's no thicker skin than having been in sales, but just to kind of realize that that one person is not the barometer for success for your channel, or anything in any pursuit. Any one dissenting comment, unless it comes from a good point of constructive criticism, is not there to actually hold more weight than the rest of the praise. I mean, you gotta get good. Yes, Stickman, you gain food through similar acts. You can also have it as a building that'll grant you food. Doing any kind of fight will grant you food. Post-battle will grant you even more food. Stuff like that. Contra-contrarian. Ogor Maw tribe. You know, I actually, Fid, I don't know the Ogor Maw tribe lore. In fact, I'm not a huge fan of Ogre Kingdoms in general from the lore. I find that, like, if you read the Ogre Kingdoms lore, it starts so cool. And then it just kind of becomes like this sad alternate thing where it's like, oh, and now they just are consumed by their hunger and they eat everything. And I've already voiced my issue with compulsive eating and how it like reminds me of when I used to be like extremely obese. So I don't like playing a game that is centered around like the mechanic is eat everything. I'm like, no, I've already done that. I did that for 18 years of my life already. Holy shit. Holy shit. That might be the largest single donation I have ever seen. I think on this channel or to any direct Total War content creator. Strife of 6, thank you very much. This is a massive $500 fucking donation, dude. Thank you very, very, very much. Now I have to do this. So the stream is now on hold while we rate all the legendary lords, including Be'lakor, from best at dueling to worst. Appreciate your content, boss. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very, very, very much. That is extremely generous, dude. Holy crap. Do I send you feet pictures now? Is that the follow-up here? Is a little bit of toesy pics? Because I can make it happen. I mean, they're just my feet. But let's do it. Let's go through these really quick. Unfortunately, I have all of the factions to look at, but we don't have that. I don't have that kind of information. So we will start with Cathay. Let's go to Cathay. Go to Cathay, Grand Cathay. And we'll talk about Xiaoming. Now, Xiaoming and Miao Ying, it doesn't show me their dragon form, unfortunately. But both of these characters are stupid good. They're really, really strong. And when you look at their actual abilities, they both transform into dragons. Obviously, it makes them particularly strong. And each one of them gets access to one spell in their dragon form. For Miao Ying, I can't remember if it's Storm of Shadows is her or Earthblood is her ability in dragon form. I think it's Storm of Shadows. And Xiaoming gets access to Dragon's Breath, which is actually a stupid, good, really quick breath attack. Now, if I'm ranking them, I guess 1 to 12, right? Number 1 is going to go on a straight one-on-one duel. And are we talking about Strife? Do you want to know about, like, okay, hey, in campaign or versus multiplayer? Because campaign, they're going to have access to so many things that will buff up their stat line or certain abilities. In multiplayer, they're relegated to very specific things, right? So let me know and I can kind of fine-tune this. But I don't know where Be'lakor stands because I've never used Be'lakor. I've not even seen him in the game. Is he even on this list? No, he's not up. He's not even up here. Is he in rare, maybe? No, I don't even see him in here. Okay, so I would say in a straight one-on-one duel, Be'lakor is number 1. But Nakari, if Nakari is supported by any other character, can destroy Skarbrand. What did I say is number 1? Skarbrand is number 1. I said Skarbrand. Skarbrand is number 1. I've never touched Be'lakor, sorry. But looking at where is it? Willing Prey is an ability he has, which reduces melee attack and melee defense by 24 and 40. But if I use Willing Prey and then Acquiescence, I've already dropped the melee defense on Skarbrand substantially. And if I use Witstealer's Sword, I've increased my damage profile by 100%. So basically, you pop those 2 spells, Willing Prey and then Acquiescence. And I mean, if you're particularly horny, you can try and go with Pavena Slanesh to Rampage, and then use Witstealer's Sword. You can just do so much fucking damage to Skarbrand that he cannot keep up with it. But that being said, Skarbrand himself will be able to, if those spells don't get off in time or you don't have enough Winds of Magic, whatever it is, to make that full wombo combo, Skarbrand will kill Nakari in 4 or 5 hits. Easily 4 or 5 hits. You get Bell of the Endless Fury, which is going to do a big explosion. Wrath of the Reaper, which increases all of his stuff by 50%. And then Rage Embodied here. I mean, like, he can force, if you're being strategic about it, I could force a Rampage onto Nakari so he can't even use those abilities, so I can just try to trump him as fast as I can. And Skarbrand is just he does so much damage, man. So much damage. Now, outside of those 2 is when things kind of start to get a little dicier. For Kislev, I would say when it comes to a one-on-one duel, where is she? Katarine kind of falls towards the bottom of the bracket with Kairos Fateweaver, because Kairos is strong and he has a bunch of like jumping, sweeping spells, but Kugoth's going to outlast him. Skarbrand's going to just destroy him. Nakari's just going to destroy him as well. And Katarine has her bear. So if she's on her bear, she actually is a really great combatant because she has all these spells she has access to buff herself up. She can damage mitigate with 60% damage resistance here. She's got a lot of really great ways to stay in the fight. But I just think as far as pure damage goes, she can't really stack up to any of the greater demons. And then when it comes to Cathay, both of those lords end up doing more in a one-on-one scenario. But Katarine and Kosteltian are at the bottom. And Boris, I think, actually, if I'm talking about Boris, and from a campaign perspective, who gets the Shard Blade and then all of his other abilities, his bonus versus large becomes in excess of 50. So I actually would put Boris below Nakari and Skarbrand as far as being able to just one-on-one someone, because almost every lord in this game at their final iteration becomes a large character. The Grand Cathayan characters are both dragons, so they become large characters. You put Kosteltian or Katarine on a bear, they become large characters. So they actually get eaten up pretty quickly by Boris Ursus. He's I think of all of the non-demon characters, he's the strongest one, because he just can have so much bonus versus large in campaign. When it comes to SKRAG and Greasus, though, it's pretty interesting because they seem like they'd be really strong and good, right? Like, look at Greasus Goldtooth. He's got a lot of damage. He's got a good amount of bonus versus large. He does some AoE debuffs, and he does some AoE buffs. Like, he's got some cool things on him. Like, everyone has their price, stuff like that. But I think that the biggest thing going for him is the fact that he's on his little people mover, so he can move around a lot. But he's got really low armor and really low melee defense. So pretty much any of the demons minus Kairos can really do a lot of damage to him and dumpster him. And even if you're looking at SKRAG, who's got super low armor and moderate melee defense at best, he can get punched apart. If you watch that, the tournament we did on Saturday, there was a Herald of Slanesh on a Hellstrider that kick the crap out of the remaining health of SKRAG. So I find that the ogre characters, because even though Greasus is a tyrant, he doesn't really feel like a pure combat character. He feels a little waffly for what he is. Like, he's got low armor, he's got low melee defense, and he doesn't have a lot of ways to mitigate damage coming his way. So I honestly feel like he kind of falls into the bottom bracket of like lords of actual competitive one-on-one ability. So definitely, if I had to rank everything again, SKRAG and Nakari, followed by Boris, the rest of the greater demons, then the Grand Cathayan lords, and then the rest of I'd say the Grand Cathayan lords, and then the Ogre Kingdom's lords, and then the rest of the Kislev lords, so Kosteltian and Katarine. Does that appease thee, Strife?
Thank you for the donation.
John Brannigan, thank you very much, man. A 20-pound donation. Hey, love the streams. Was wondering how the Ogre campaigns compare to the rest of Legendary Lords, considering they both seem to start quite far away from everyone else. So here's my opinion of the Ogre Kingdoms. Let me take a break here. Let me take a little sneak energy break. Sneak energy. No, Strife. Thank you very much, dude. Extremely generous of you, bro. In fact, saving that for posterity. Brannigan, let me get back to your question here. Once I do, let me do some stuff. Let me make some things happen in this campaign real quick. I forgot to train last turn, didn't I? Sure did. So, in my opinion, the Ogre Kingdoms are the weakest campaign of all the campaigns in Warhammer 3. And again, I'm not saying the Ogre Kingdoms are bad by any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying that of all of the mechanics that are being presented to us across all the demons, Kislev, Cathay, the ogres seem the slimmest. And it feels, the way I play ogres, it feels like a Warhammer 2 DLC. And what that means to me is that there are a lot of mechanics. They're all really cool, but they feel like they're already existing mechanics within the game. Versus all the Warhammer 3 mechanics are fresh, new, great, awesome. Like this ability, the Bloody and Raw, or I'm sorry, the Offering of the Great Maw, just kind of feels like feels almost like any of the other menu type things that most like Clan Eshin have gotten and stuff like that. The contract thing, again, feels very, very similar to stuff that comes from like Clan Eshin, where it's, hey, it's a new little menu, you pop this, and it's very minimally invasive. The camp thing, we've seen this already with Hordes, with Black Arcs, and with Vampire Coast ships. So, and the big names is, again, that's something that's so behind the scenes, it's easy to kind of tack into there. So to me, it just feels like ogres are not quite as cool as the rest of the Warhammer 3 races mechanically. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're not a fun campaign, because they definitely are. But I just feel like stuff feels so bespoke, to use a buzzword, in the rest of the Warhammer 3 campaigns compared to SKRAG OGRE. Going in the pot. You know, we didn't recruit enough ogres in the last turn, so we're kind of, this is going to be kind of an uphill battle, but it'll be fun nonetheless. We'll put it on these guys. So, oh, this will be fun. Yes, this will be very fun. Honestly, Nurgle's really good. He just, I think he plays differently than what other people want. He's very slow. In fact, I find his campaign very fun. Top 3 best campaigns for you personally. Number 1, Skybrand, easily. Skybrand's probably also the easiest campaign. I got a video coming out in 2 days. It'll be me ranking all of them from easiest to hardest. I really like Zhao Ming, and I find Kairos really fun. I think those are my 3 favorite ones. Not to say that Nakari or any of the other ones are not fun, but I really like how you kind of got to get pretty in-depth with a lot of the other ones. Dude, look at this place, man. This looks sick. I love Boris. Boris's campaign is great, but I think it's a little it's a little bare bones right now because there's no Chaos Dwarfs in the game. I'm really hyped for the old world, but dude, look at this fucking city. Hope they had Death Guard and Nurgle. Like, this is sick. I mean, this is the first dwarf hold I've seen that's not been underground. This is really cool. Just to kind of show this off a little bit. Get kind of scenic with it. Assassin, I went over all the mechanics for ogres earlier in the video. I unfortunately don't want to go over them again. I like how it kind of comes to, like, over here, at the deeper in you get. You see, like, it actually has like a cool skybox, and then you get into more and more of the mountain back here. Yeah, like this is still all playable all the way up to this point. So what's cool is you can actually have, like, you see, like, the causeways and everything here, right? Like, this place is super defensible outside of the walls, which I really like. Because ogres... We're going to show you guys what happens. See this little ability? Stone Shaker. So, this will do 200 and 100 damage, but it blows up a wall immediately. Oof. Let's have some fun. Start this. Pause it really quick. See what we got going now. I already have a little sneaky sneak over here. We're gonna burst through the wall right there. This guy's up close and personal. Yeah, I hope that they give Bellicor his own campaign. I think that's desperately needed. Go ahead and get these on the wall. I'm gonna have them just start marching, and then I'll send my ogres. In fact, actually, I'm gonna go over here with these two. Break this down, and I'm going to send Big Boy over here.
So much meat you send us. Oh,
I can't wait to show you guys Stone Shaker. And just let these guys take that initial. Dude, look how like the bolts send them backwards.
Don't be the house elf.
Now remember, the ogres can just straight up attack these walls, which is cool. Okay, so they're going to go ahead, and they're pretty close in. What are you guys doing? Now we'll go ahead and go in. Watch this. So let's go ahead and...
I've only begun.
So press this button and then watch what happens. Boom! Opens up a hole in the wall, kills all those dwarfs at the same time, which is why I stopped having my nobblers go up that wall. And then we can just bulldoze right through it. So you basically just, it gives you a way to get into a wall without having to essentially suffer through the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. And the ogre is just ready to play. Look at that.
Bring us me! Yeah. When supper! Full of more!
Look at that. That's kind of cool. Like there's this like little gap here you have to go around. I didn't realize that. Okay, so we got yeah, so this is better than Vol's Anvil. So we already are ready for another one to be used. In fact, that gate's about to blow up. Go ahead and just do this. Well, bam! And that's broken open now, too.
The great Moor claims another! Oh, yeah! Take it all!
Nope, it's just an auto ability, they get it.
Where's me master? Find him and kill him! The more that walks wins supper!
Now, the big thing is you can use this on a unit. Watch. It doesn't do a lot of damage here. See? It's not really that useful to units.
The more commands!
I like the lore of my Great Maw. A lot of people have already,
Master of the moon pot!
never mind.
I go
I am trying to focus on this real quick. We will jump back to that. What's that comment just a little bit here, Bob?
hungry! Moon slaughter! The more!
A lot of people have already, like, kind of written off lore of Great Maw. Unfortunately, it kind of seems to keep happening with a lot of the Maws, or a lot of the lore so far. But like I said, guys, it is early access.
Great Moor servant!
Put on those guys. Like I'm trying to say is don't write off any of the lores. I think they're all really, really good. They have got specific uses. I think the lore of Great Maw 2 has got plenty of great application. Again, we'll use this right here. It's not to much effect, but you can see it oh, actually got some good damage right there.
Where's me master? Guts out, boys! Relentless hunger! When do we eat? Boss says so.
There is another version right now that's in beta. that I have chosen not to use, but it adds more stabilization to the game. Razor, I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, compare nothing to Daddy Kairos, man. He's so strong. Honestly, too, I find the Lord of Slaanesh to have a lot of really great uses. It's so good at bursting things down. The Lash of Slaanesh is a really good high AP damage spell. Stream of Corruption from Lord of Nurgle is a really good high AP damage spell. A lot of people kind of look at things in a very specific nuance, unfortunately. Oh no, these guys are getting ripped apart. Wasn't paying attention to them. I don't think that's particularly fair. What is annoying is that. Oh, you guys are just gonna hang out there, huh? I wouldn't, not against the ogres. So you can see, like, that was kind of a little off target, but it still only killed 4 models.
Serve the ogres! For the masters!
Are those ogres gonna actually lose in that battle? Looking like it. Does it work on buildable defenses? No, it does not, I don't think. I think I've tried it and it doesn't. We'll wait for it to recharge and we'll try. You guys actually going to move to where I want you to?
Bring us me! SKRAG, the slaughterer! Swarm together!
It will not work on towers, I know that. The watch. See, I can't use it on a tower. We'll try right here. Ah, that works. So yeah, it does work on buildable ones.
Okay, they butcher! Here we go! Good plan! When do we eat? Crush them! Soaked in entrails. Meat for the more. These ogre mates!
The AI does get it, yes. They do not use it, though, at the shocking level that you can use it. I'll say that.
Gut magician.
I need to keep these guys alive. I don't want to lose the double hammer dudes. They're really good. There we go. You know, honestly, I thought it would work on towers because the ogres have no way of shutting towers down until they get access to any of their range stuff. So, and they've got low armor, so it feels particularly useful against towers. And if it's got a 45-second or a minute-long recycle, I could see it being abused, though. So. Will the AI use the wall spell against the player in a defense? Yes, they will. They will. Oh, in a defensive siege? I don't know. Which miniature of theirs do I like the most? The Firebelly is really sick. I love the Stone Horns. The Mornfang are cool looking. I mean, the Ogres have sick models. You don't. The voice asked, when you destroy a camp to build another in a new location, do you get any sort of growth bonus to make up for having to start over? You don't. But... Fratello. Thank you very much, man. Now go and find me any of the women on the Olympic weightlifting team where they're all beautiful and super talented. Let them know I love them. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. So many good little goodies. Carrick Ziflin here will break that down. Now, you said about the camp thing, and it is a bit of a concern, to be honest. And we as content creators have already said, like, hey, you might want to tweak the way the camp mechanic works because it is kind of jankety. I will say, though, that the way that the actual research tree works is... Go ahead and take a look. God, guys, I am, like, so sore today. Holy crap. Ugh. Feeling my body is just, like... so bad for the Olympians right now. My body is just locked up in my hips from, like, standing all Saturday and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely, Alif. It's very easy to have a surplus. I've got a little too horny in my Greases campaign and went into an extreme deficit, but it was easy to come back from it. So if you look at Camp Huddle here, it says population surplus 1 for newly deployed camps. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different researches that would make it so that when you start a camp for the first time, you need a good stool. I got a chair right here, but I don't want to sit in it. I should probably get a stool though. That'd be pretty cool. Lewis, goddamn, good suggestion, man. There are all these bonuses here that make it so that you can have a ton of camps. And more importantly, any camp you do make comes out with 8 growth out the gate. So you can jump up through the progression of it very fast. So there is that to consider, but like you said, you get no refund, nothing refunded for breaking your camp down. I think it's just the actual main camp building you'll get refunded, but that's it. So it is an unfortunate circumstance. It's my hips. They have touched the conjunctivitis. You know what? I'm gonna get actually one more knobbies. More knobby bros. We're gonna grab Bull Gorger here and Blood Gruel to give us some healing. And we'll get Replenish Troops. Alright, Captain Diabetes, thank you very much for your donation, man, and for jumping in here today. Always appreciate it, brother. A new commandment. Here are our 3 commandments. So control and growth increase. Income from all buildings and chance of a plague spreading reduced. And then corruption reduction, recruitment cost reduction, and local recruitment capacity increase. We'll go with growth. You know, they sound tiresome, but they're not. They have a very, very large circle. And I'll show you here. We'll get... You can go ahead and pop one up somewhere. You can only make them... They also auto-raid. So if I go and place one like right here, it'll be raiding the whole time. And then other factions can recruit mercenaries from those, which is pretty cool. They do cost upkeep though, so you kind of have to be wary of that. You can see we're losing though. We're losing army upkeep is causing us to lose some food here. Oh man.
The Godmouth rewards its servants.
Yeah, it's really cool for multiplayer. I think it's really cool for multiplayer. Gristle Valley, let's get... Gristle Valley, let's upgrade this, and let's get... This is income, so Carrick Ziflin, I want to grab... Growth and Gristle Valley. Go ahead and maybe grab growth as well. Now we do have a landmark here, which reduces our recruitment costs and gives us recruitment rank increase for Gorger units. Gorgers now Gorgers are of course the only really good unit aside from Iron Guts you can make. So what we would actually probably do here is swap this building once we made this. Because although this is a faction-wide buff, which is quite nice. A Leaf Man, thank you very much, brother. I thought you were already a member of the channel, but thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I cannot rate the game yet. I cannot give you an X out of X number, you know what I mean? But I can say that Warhammer 3 is 10 out of 10, the third game in the trilogy. 10 out of 10. It is it is for sure the third game of the trilogy. That wasn't a rating. I've tricked you. This was all a clever ruse. AI. Yeah, I already covered my thoughts on Ogres as far as their campaign and what my thoughts were on it. But it's just not a campaign for me, to be totally honest. I don't particularly like Ogres is why. And I've said that the Warhammer 3 mechanics of the other prime Warhammer 3 races feels more robust and more bespoke as I've used. I'm positive it's the third game. I'm positive it's the third game in the trilogy. Chronologically, though, you'll just have to play the campaign and find out. But I honestly feel like I'll probably not play the Ogres much. I just enjoy Cathay or Kislev or the Demons way more. And again, it comes down to I don't like the army. And all the other three factions seem to have more custom stuff versus the Ogres seem to have... I've said the Ogres feel like a late Warhammer 2 DLC, meaning they're really awesome and they have a ton of stuff going for them. But my brain just shit the bed right there. They're awesome. They have a lot of stuff going for them, but I think that the stuff that they have access to, it feels like a kind of like, hey, we're going to push this into the existing system versus all the Warhammer 3 mechanics of all the other races feel like they are custom built on top of Warhammer 3, right? Like, it's like, oh, okay, Warhammer 3 is here. Well, here's a whole new menu system, a whole new this, a whole new that. Like, everything for the Warhammer, or for the Ogres, feels derivative from other DLC and factions. Like I said, the camps they already exist in the Vampire Coast ships and in the Horde system or the Black Arcs. I cannot wait for Chaos Dwarfs, and they better be fucking sick. We could probably go here with... I'll just go growth and we'll get income next on it. And we could probably sneak into here to make a camp. Just to show you guys how camps work. I find that interesting, Foehammer, because I guess you could make the argument that every single mechanic for the Ogres feels used versus like Kislev's the Kislev supporter mechanic is you could completely ignore it and be fine. You could completely ignore that mechanic if you wanted to, because the AI will never confederate you, and you'll only ever have the option to confederate them. But the Ogres, I guess, are just, to me, they just felt tacked on. See if we can do this. Deploy the camp here. And go right back into our territory. Perfect. And we'll make more Ogres.
Servants of the ever-hungry mouth.
I do know that Mandalore has his thing up right now, but actually maybe the embargo for review has ended and I can actually talk about it. I mean, I'm notorious in that I would never really say anything negative.
I'll eat this whole stinking world. I'm the boss. Got it?
Is Skarsnik still here? He is not here. this is not Skarsnik's faction. Well, that's because they're Skaven. Review embargo is over? Let me take a look. Yep, Ogres and review embargo is today. So yeah, if you guys want my rating of the game, 9 out of 10. There you go. I give this a solid A. I guess an A minus.
That one, no threat. Oh, the great war begins.
So now you can see the Ogre camp has got a big circle here. Which, I mean, honestly, I probably should have waited until I made it here. Yeah, review is, it's good. I mean, to be totally honest, anyone who plays Warhammer, Total War Warhammer, has been playing from 1 up until 2 till 3. Like, any one of us Total War Warhammer content creators is going to review this game well. Excuse me, guys. Like... There's very few things that are lackluster in this game. I would say, I'm trying to think of stuff that, like... So I have submitted, like, hey, here's my feedback to you, Creative Assembly, change these things. And all of us have done these things. And I don't know what I can or cannot talk about, because some of them might be certain things. So I'll only say... Here is one of the options that I submitted for feedback, as in something that disappointed me or something I wanted to change with the game. Option to skip the cutscene when selecting a new campaign, preventing it from loading outright and just going to the next menu. So if I press new campaign, a cinematic plays, and then I select which campaign, and then another cinematic plays. I would want the option to just skip that first one. So that to me was like one of the only things where I'm like, I'm not too big of a fan of that one, you know? And the only other one, which is not even on this list, I didn't make it to the leaderboard. Piece of shit. The only other one that I have, well, there is another one, Bellacore, but that, Sotek started that one. Sotek and I, well, not Sotek. Sotek said, hey, we should have a Bellacore campaign. I put Kosteltian's Kossar buffs to I want them to apply to armored Kossars as well. They just, because the normal Kossars can't handle late to mid game. That or make his buffs not dependent on being below 25% health. Like, those are some of the things that bother me about the game currently. But optimization, the game is running great. They seem to have fixed a lot of the lighting issues that existed in Warhammer 2. Overall, the game just feels a lot better. The new UI is either you like it or you don't, which I've seen is just depends on the individual. Some people say it's too red, it hurts my eyes, which I don't understand, but you can change a lot of those things through here. The races all feel unique. Each campaign feels unique. I will say that the two additional, or I guess the 3 additional campaigns in Greasus, SKRAG, and Boris feel the least engaging of the campaigns because I think they're built around future content. I think that this area will become something factored around DLC. So SKRAG being on his own and being able to reap a tally through the old world, I think is because there's going to be something in the future that stops him. And Boris's campaign, we know he's going to be right up against those Chaos Dwarfs, so there'll be something that'll be there to stop him. Same thing with Greasus, he's over here, and he has like no opposition. So in the future, I think Chaos Dwarfs, maybe a Monkey King's presence in a southern Cathay or the mountains over here, all those things could be used to stop and make his campaign more fun and engaging. That's my opinion upon those 3 campaigns. You've been the most interactive streamer I've watched so far. Amazing interactions with your followers. Happy to recommend you to my friend. Keep it up, bud. Thank you very much, Voice. A lot of people get pissed off watching my streams because like, oh, it's so slow, play the game. If you want to watch someone play the game, go watch someone play the game. I'm here to interact with people because I make a lot of VODs, and this is my chance to have fun, talk, converse, go slower. I mean, we're only on turn 5, and what are we in? Like, we're in like 2-3 hours into this stream. Yeah, Lamian Sisterhood too, Neferata. Like, that's the one thing you have to consider, and I think that for me, I give those things a pass. Someone who doesn't play Total War Warhammer frequently, like, I know Mandalore Gaming plays Total War Warhammer, but I don't know how much he's clued into lore and long-term plans. As far as like, I don't know the long-term plans, but it's evident to me, it's evident to you guys that stuff like that's coming, right? But someone who reviews for GameSpot or IGN, who maybe just is playing this on a one-off, might not understand those things, so it's going to affect their score. So I feel like that's kind of the annoying thing about a review is depending upon who's reviewing it, yes, you're going to get a bias. I have a bias because I love this game. But I also have a concept for the way that the long-term content plans work for Total War games and Total War Warhammer games in general. Actually, we don't need to put any food into this. We can just auto-resolve this bit. Oh, auto-resolve. That's one of my biggest problems is auto-resolve is crazy right now. It was okay in the very first version of the game we got. Then it's just been going wild all early access. I mean, my Kislev stuff went from just fine to just absolutely broken as far as auto-resolve goes. So that is a little bit of a gripe I do have. Auto-resolve is also dictated by your difficulty you set out.
I've only begun.
Bro, here on $1 donation here. So from what I'm hearing, this game is guild approved. Chuckles and Dawi. Speaking of dwarfs, random tangential question. Do dwarfs and Cathay get along? I know Andy Hall said they trade, but it's like, we don't like you, but we like your money. Just curious. I think it's probably that latter thing, man. I think dwarves are opportunistic enough that they'll just trade with whoever makes them the most money, and they have a passing fine, neutral opinion of them. They obviously think dwarfs are better, but I don't think that they've got an antagonistic relationship at all. They might have an interesting relationship when it comes to gunpowder merits, right? With dwarf gunpowder versus Cathayan gunpowder. That would be a more interesting question to ask Andy of, hey, what's the opinion between dwarfs and Cathay versus what do they think of each other's gunpowder? Is that where the animosity lives? Like that kind of question I think would be a little bit more fun. Sun-dried tomatoes was just killed here. Ooh, Halfling Cookbook. Rumored once to have belonged to Scrag the Slaughterer. That's this guy. This book is the lone remnant of the Halfling Wars, used by the butchers when practicing the more unpalatable aspects of gut magic. Dude, that's fucking great. 20% cooldown reduction on a lot of the on like 3 of the better spells.
Gonna be over, tyrant, one day.
I think what like kind of people don't really understand when they come to like looking at Warhammer is the game's been around for since 1982. I think that's when Warhammer Fantasy Battles 1 first edition came out, or maybe it was 84. So let's just say it's 82 for easy math. That's 40 years. This is the best Warhammer Fantasy game to have ever existed in that 40-year time. Some games came close, but this is the only one that kind of culminates everything in a true, grand, encompassing map. And that in and of itself is like such a huge feat, you know? Like that is so awesome. Let's go with Toothcracker because it's really good. It gives us some good armor and missile resistance.
Thank you for this gift.
Thank you for this gift. I think what I like about the ogres the most is mimicking their voices when I play them. No one is really going to be playing the narrative of Total War Warhammer 3 campaign once that comes out. Yeah, Devin, that's a great call out, right? Like every time the Mortal Empires, quote unquote, comes out, it just kind of supplants whatever narrative existed.
Ravenous children awake.
Ogre achievement list of ogre achievements. Yeah, that list, the achievement list was released, I thought, Shagrat. Oh, I just popped my knee, felt great. We don't, Robert. We have no idea. I would imagine 3 months out, 2 months out after launch. They said they're going to give us like a roadmap. We do get that. Lock of Doom, get some good damage. Ogre's campaign goal? Here you go. Well, here's this campaign goal. Complete all 4 of the realms and then do the Forge of Souls battle. I mean, this is the Forge of Souls campaign. So that is the focus. We do have a domination victory if we so wish.
The crew of the star.
The crew of
harvester.
I also like Nakari's voice a lot too. So when will they announce Medieval 3? Hopefully this year, man. I mean, okay, I love Warhammer. And I'm loving Warhammer 3 a lot. But I cannot wait to get into that juicy Medieval 3 whenever that is announced. Okay, so no Ogre achievements listed. I don't know if I even have any. Yeah, it won't even, since I'm still in early access, I can't see the achievements. Well, I couldn't tell you, unfortunately, brother. I mean, we don't know Game God, but there's no reason why they would not do Medieval 3. There's no reason they would not do Medieval 3, Rome 3, Shogun 3, Empire 2. You know, like, they're going to continue their historical IPs for sure. You know, Surreal Beliefs and I were just talking about that. I want Medieval 3, he wants Empire 2. Honestly, I could just take Medieval 2 Remastered, which I think is coming. They've already said that Medieval is coming to iOS. That follows the same exact pattern that we got with last year with Rome. So I think we'll get a Medieval 2 Remastered by the end of this year. Mark my fucking words, bros.
Bring me something's leg. Must butcher.
Oh, big name available.
The more
Ever famished here, so the meat provided by camps is increased, but meat gained from battles is also increased as well. Choose it. And we're locked into this for 10 turns. If you've tried to play Medieval 2 in today's world, let me just tell you, it has got a shit camera.
the great more.
The Great Mo.
Must go.
Go ahead and attack these Skaven. Declare war upon them. Oh. This is juicy. So, some Skaven fight here. What was the content you were most excited to share when the content bans lifted? You know what? It became Slaanesh, but I was really stoked to show you guys Boris, more importantly, I think. Boris is so fun. The Walmart creature run. God, Azalak. Because I think Slaanesh is kind of... It fell to the wayside because by the time Slaanesh had come out, I think everyone was pretty exhausted seeing the demons. But Slaanesh has got a lot of really fun mechanics. And I never thought I'd say I like Slaanesh. It's my least favorite of the Chaos Gods. I would level Lord of the Rings Total War Official. Well, I mean... Games Workshop has that IP, and they could probably contract it out to CA, through GW. I don't know how that all works, though. I'm not a contract lawyer, or a copyright lawyer. In the Grand Map, Game God, I don't know. It depends if Chaos Dwarfs come out by then, right? Or so we will definitely probably get at least a Lord pack by the time the Chaos Dwarfs come out. Remember, we didn't get the combined map until a month or two before or after Tomb Kings. The game launched September of 2017, I want to say. And then 2018 Tomb Kings came out in that February. And the Tomb Kings, remember how great the Tomb Kings campaign was by comparison to the rest of the Vortex? Everyone was like, man, no Vortex? Love it. So I think we'll probably get... I would not be surprised if in this year we got 2 Lord packs, a campaign pack, and Immortal Empires. I know Slanesh is Indy's favorite. Indy loves them sentient titties. We'll sneak that over there. We've seen this location lots of times.
Bring us meat.
Actually, I don't like this route. Because this route you gotta go up and around, 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 around. Like, it's so tumultuous. So we're gonna take these little bit more direct paths over here.
Where's me master?
More work. Alright.
When do we eat? Hungry. Ogres.
Oh, I didn't mean to channel magic. Son of a bitch. Let me pause. Did I pause? I paused. Didn't feel like I did. So we'll use this to just kind of go right over here, right in that back. We will march up these routes over here. Saber Tusks, I'll use you to come around this direction. You guys can go right here. Go into those slaves, please. Have you guys right here. We'll do is I'll send this right here. Back up, and I'm gonna send that in a little sneaky route. Absolutely, Steven. Thanks for watching, man.
Leave nothing unconsumed.
Yes, AI, you absolutely can. You unlock their units just through your campaign. You don't need to do. You wouldn't need to do anything like alliance stuff like that. You can just simply play as Chaos Undivided, and you'll get all the goodies you could ever want. Do you think we'll get any new characters with Chaos Wars? What do you mean?
I ain't no gobbo.
Big boys coming through.
Ogres. Bring supper.
They've seen through my trap, my ruse.
Ogres. Voice of the North. Slaughtering time.
These guys did not go the way I wanted them to.
Great Moor servant. Right. The Moor commands.
So the best thing about this is it's an augment in an area. So everything's going to get that nice juicy armor and missile resistance buff. I'm pretty sure they'll bring Cathay miniatures.
Okay, big butcher. Ogres! Off we go! They'll do! Crusher! Hungry! The more that walks, chop and tear. When do we eat? Master of the meat pot. Butcher. Soaked in entrails, gnawing hunger. Butcher 'em. no gobber. Serve the ogres.
There's a surge of ogres over here. It's kind of cool, right? Like, you just kind of play this campaign where you are this unending horde of gut.
Butcher them. SKRAG, the slaughterer. The point is yours now. Oh more. Meat harvester. Fresh meat. Meat. Slaughter. The more.
Healing in there, too. What's up, Jinja? I don't know why he ran away from that.
SKRAG, the slaughterer. Feed the more. Chopper of entrails. The more call. This way. Noblars. Where's me master? Killing time.
Yeah, those I love the gorges. Try to show them off a little bit for you guys right there.
Try beat it. Where the more asked. Prepare the meat. Gut magician. Devour them. Hungry. Biggest in the tribe. Ah. This way. I seek meat. The godmouth directs.
There we go. Oh yeah, Three Kingdoms 2. I forgot about that, didn't I? Apologize, guys. You know how it is. Allergies, me, they're a thing. Oh no, they're definitely not difficult to play around Daphos. But what do you mean by balanced, though? Like, I don't think they're heavily abusable. The ability to blow up fortifications is pretty brutal, but I don't think they're necessarily like completely disgusting or anything like that. No, it's not worth it to do the loot and occupy for that 30 conquest penalty. For 300 gold? Like, no thank you, sir. Another big name unlocked. Okay. This one I think is the World Eater one. Yeah, World Swallower. Diplomatic relations plus 20 with all factions and then campaign movement range. We'll jump to that in 9 turns.
It hungers. Ogre tyrant.
So does Nurgle have potential snowballing abilities? Yeah, I mean, Nurgle is a slow building campaign, and I think that it's what I kind of said in my preview video was like, guys, when you're doing this, don't expect this to play like a normal campaign where you just kind of jump through all those hoops really quickly for Nurgle. You have a lot of time you're going to be spending for Nurgle as you build up, and you slowly build and 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 kind of like go wild from there. But I think that most Total War players, when they go to play Nurgle, it'll be a little jarring for them. If you guys are liking the stream, don't forget to press that like button. Like I said before, it helps me out a ton, my bros. Make sure you're liking the stream. I'm trying to see how many people we got watching right now and everything. 302, 423 with only 228 likes. My bros, pump that up. Let's get that to 300 at the least. I cannot tell you how much likes help out any content creator that you are watching. It's annoying how much it helps. Blackstone Tower, was Kelmer there? No, not in this. Maybe in the full campaign, sure, but not right here, right now. Does this mean Nurgle has an inherent potential to lose easier because the NPCs just win the campaign faster? No, I mean, you can enact so many plagues so much so fast that it really kind of curbs back the NPCs, and you can take them out. I'm just saying that you don't go on a rampant, like, massive empire-growing campaign very quickly with Kugoth because you need to wait for your buildings to start kind of going through their stages. Let's get some level. We'll show you guys Bone Crusher. This one's kind of fun. How long until we can do this? 4 more turns? We can wait a little bit then on that. And actually, Lucky Nobblers is nice just to get 5% physical resistance, but we won't do that one right now. Let's go with... We'll actually maybe just do... What's the one for... Let's make our Gorgers even better.
I can serve you.
Okay, and this dude... Replenishment, please. Excuse me. I don't know if we'll keep this camp long. I've tried to compile as many of the unique attributes as I can, and I'll try to share that for you guys too. Rydro Costo asked, how does the Ogre campaign stack up against the demons and fun factor? I've answered this one a couple times while stream today, my brother, so I'll just kind of quickly say that I find the demons to be more exciting, but it's also because I just am not a huge fan of ogres in general. AI said, I don't know if you're comfortable discussing this, but as a YouTube content creator, are you made aware of how interaction is weighted? Does it help to favorite vids or just like, comments, so on and so forth? So this kind of changes every handful of months. YouTube is notorious for change, or Google, which owns YouTube as of 2008, is notorious for changing their YouTube algorithm, or I'm sorry, their Google algorithm, the search algorithm. And so I originally got my start in internet marketing. I worked in retail for a number of years. Then I got into internet marketing at a startup, and then I got into corporate sales. Ended up becoming a VP of sales. So I've definitely been a part of marketing for a long time, and I've seen these trends kind of come and go. And things that work 1 month don't work the next. Well, maybe not that fast. It was 6-7 month period. So it used to kind of be that likes told YouTube that, okay, if this is got a lot of likes on it and a lot of comments, and the likes correspond to the title then corresponds to the content, and these three things are kind of like a checks and balances of all of them working in tandem together to tell YouTube's algorithm that this content is indeed good content, it matches the title, and it is, again, good content. It's not a shit video or whatever it is. So likes and comments are forms of interaction, and they are positive and strong for whatever kind of quote-unquote quality score it goes into the ranking system for the search engine result page for YouTube. So I don't know the exact value and weight and what matters and what doesn't matter anymore, because it used to be that your first 3 tags on the video were weighted more than the rest of the tags. There's so many little things you have to look at. And to be totally honest, for a long time I used to like cheat, and I'd go and look at, now there's all these plugins you can use to just plug into Chrome to pull like what videos tags are. But I'd go onto Creative Assembly's videos. If they released a video for, like, say, the Vampire Coast, I'd go into the source code, look at what their tags were, pull their tags, and apply them to my video. because it's okay, this is what's going to be commonly searched. There's all these things that you used to have to do that is now just kind of like planted right there in front of you. But my mind tells me, or like my instinct tells me, that if they're planted there in front of me, it's because the weight of them has been reduced. So it just kind of depends, man. It just kind of depends. More income. And let's see about just kind of going directly for this. I've quick saved before we jump over there. Ah, a Pyrrhic victory indeed. And another... So this has got a wall here. Remember, we're not too worried about walls. But it is worth noting that Skaven stuff is super confusing. So this will be kind of fun. But this is actually a really cool map I want to show you guys too. But don't you think that settlement and town battles are just becoming big bubbles after big bubbles? What do you mean, Mr. Slowhand? Like, I definitely think I should have been able to auto-resolve this without it being a Pyrrhic victory, if that's the question. So, taking a look here at this one. It's a pretty cool little location. And it goes back, too. Like, take a look at this map first. It stretches way back here. So if this were dwarf looking, if dwarfs have controlled this, this would look so much cooler. This would look even more like Baroque and even more layered with all these different kind of levels and tiers to it. Look at that, it's pretty sick, right? Like, they did a really good job of making anytime you jump into a settlement controlled by another faction to feel like it's a little more alive in that settlement's kind of way, right? I really love this. And so you kind of know, like, oh, now this is why the game was delayed twice, you know? Like, you look at this and you're like, that's got a lot of stuff going. Kind of looks like a skull. Alright, so now we can get kind of fancy. Let's go ahead and put some gorgers over here. I'm just kind of put them right up against that deployment zone. I've done this battle before and I put them over here and it took them forever to get into the actual fight. And we're going to go ahead and launch an attack on these two gates because this all connects. You kind of have to look at this as, if I attack this gate and this gate, even though they're right next to each other, in order to reinforce over here, I have to go across this. So you kind of have to put a little bit more thought into attacking now. Like I said before in plenty of videos, you can't just simply hoard one gate and just burst through and have a good time. You have to split your forces up a little bit to try and capture these capture points and give yourself a little bit of a bonus, or else they just kind of go hog wild on you. I mean, those battles seem like you have armies fighting in bubbles. You select all units and send them in a fight, and it seems hard to have a good control of them. Depends on the faction. So let's go ahead and go... I think the majority of our troops go over here. We'll grab 3 ogres, hit that wall there. 2 knobs in front. Greasus is more of a empire building campaign, and SKRAG is more of like a choose your own adventure, go and range across the world and great glory for the Ogre Kingdoms kind of campaign. I think that's everyone. What's this guy over here? Saber Tusk I'll put over here so it doesn't spawn any defenders in that wall. Perfect. Pause that real quick. Go for this wall. Break open that gate. You two just go and march that wall. And you 3 go and get on this wall. Nope. Wall. Wall. We already went over it, but just to let you know, Chorf, basically you just have to win the campaign. This is the narrative campaign, so there's no difference in... Oh, God, look at those destructive capabilities. There's no difference in what you have to do. Everyone has to do the same thing in the narrative campaign. Go through the realms of chaos and go free Urson. Thank you very much for purchasing through the Nexus store. As I've said before, it helps me out a ton. Helps me out a ton. Alright, so we're already on this wall. We got 10 more seconds until we can use our big mamba jambo and blow up a wall. Which I will be doing. Of course. Absolutely Chorf. Big boy's going in, big boy's charging. Alright, so we got that active. Are there any juicy targets here? Oh, there is. Ooh, we got Warp Lightning coming down. And then we just bulldoze right through that door.
What you moving? Bring us me. Me.
Feast upon Ursons. Yeah, that's a good point. Come on, break that open.
Serve the ogres. Soaked in entrails, seeking fresh meat. Ogres.
Nice thing here is these, since these things are large, quote-unquote, single entities, they don't need to worry about so much about the damage from the Warp Lightning, which you would otherwise have to really worry about in most campaigns. It's not broken yet? Alright. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
Thundering fall. I ain't no gobbo. Here we go. It is ours. It is the Moors.
Oh, that did not break that open. Oopsies.
Butcher them
Ah, my bad.
in my guts. SKRAG the slaughterer. The Moor commands. Servant of the Moor. When do we eat? Andre! Ah! Leggy! We's ogre mates! SKRAG the slaughterer! Slaughterer! Or go, or war.
Do ogres get the name from their size, or ogres use it to making them? Both. Because it is a synthesis between a ogre and a rat, and it has an additional kind of like use in that it has an ogre or another Skaven attached to it, so that it has like a more not autonomy, but more control. Basically, is a better way to probably put it. So that goes right there. Can you get Scragadoodle-Doo over here, please? I want him to use his Bone Crusher ability.
Clean and gouge.
Alright, and then Saber Test. Sneak right there if you can.
Oh! Don't! Serve the ogres! The food thirst. Take it all! Leggy! Slaughtering fire.
Oh!
SKRAG the slaughterer!
Where is he? Jesus Christ.
Where the Moor asks, the point is lost.
Okay, where is it? Where is it? Oh, perfect. Here it comes. Wha-bam!
Gush out, boys! Chop and When do we eat?
Where's these gorgers at, bro? Why'd you go around, you clowns?
Hungry! Killing time! Ah! Gnawing hunger. Ogres! Butcher! Hungry! Biggest in the tribe! Find a meal! I'll smell ya! Meat harvester!
Cap, thank you very much, man. Give me a second. I'll take a look at what you said.
It all! Exactly! Voice of the law! Butcher them!
All right. All right.
The great law claims another! Bring us
Oof.
meat for the law! Ah! Biggest in the tribe!
Trying to relieve our little Noblar bros over here.
Run for it!
It's not Thursday yet, though. I just read a little bit of your donation here. Thank you very much for the $10, my brother. Let's go back over here and help out. These guys should be just fine to do the damage. Remember, we want to kill people as they're running away. It's part of our part of how we charge our mechanic here, right? Prisoner points are gathered by killing enemy units that are routing and shattered. Cut magician. Cap said, though, $20 donation. Hey, man, just want to thank you for all your pre-release content. Your knowledge of the game and lore makes it very enjoyable to watch. Is it Thursday yet? Thank you very much, my brother. Not yet, but we will get there. We'll get there together. You guys online again yet?
Feed the more. This'll show him. Ogres! Dragging the cauldron.
RagThatCauldron.com.
Master of the meat pot.
What a name, dude.
Looking for him. Great Moors.
You know, the great thing about these is, like, I can really ignore Spirit, like Skaven Slave Spirit, right? They're just they're such trash units as far as, like, their overall durability, that it's like ogres can just bulldoze right through them, which is kind of cool. No, it's not necessarily effective against single entity either.
Guided by our
Alright. We have done it. A close victory indeed. Yeah, the wall destroy thing be effective against single entities, or is the damage reduced against units because maybe it's very high splash damage? Or damage without splash. Yeah, 100%. SKRAG more than gold tooth. 100% Sam Whoop. Turner and I were talking about that last night. He goes, hey, what do you like more? Greasus or SKRAG? I'm like, dude, SKRAG-a-daddy, man. Ooh. Yeah, we got enough money.
Mighty conquerors, mercy, yes, yes.
I mean, so now we're at a pretty commanding stage in the campaign. Campfire Storyteller. Reduce units budget. And corruption reduction. Ranked up in a province with high corruption. Does it really have high corruption? Oh, high Skaven corruption. Captured 2 provinces. Morbidius is done with. Let's reduce that corruption. There we go. So we have already secured both the northern and southern Grey Mountains. So this gives you guys an idea of how the ogres can get so strong in a lot of the campaigns we've seen so far. Like if you played as Kislev and you've watched other people play as Kislev, you've noticed that Nordland, all this just gets completely rampaged by ogres. Why do ogres resist chaos? Because they were created by the old ones to be like the ultimate destructive force against chaos, with like the durability of dwarfs, the ingenuity of humans, and the magical aptitude of elves. But they didn't quite finish it, and that's why ogres are kind of oafy and stupid. And when the Great Maw was hurtled through the world, it kind of tainted all the ogres, and it incurred this unending hunger for them. No AI Kemmler, no sir, not yet. I think that do you think we'll get Chaos Dwarfs as the first drop of additional content, or do you think CA will concentrate on fleshing out the demonic? I think we'll get a Chaos Warriors DLC first, for sure. Then Chaos Dwarfs, because the Chaos Warriors are in such a weird, funky place, and I think to fill out that roster is going to be pretty crucial. Okay, more for Gorgers here.
It cools.
It does, doesn't it? I guess Wild Heart for power recharge. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, this would be. This is Brokewater here in the Wasteland. We have Marienburg right here. And this is Grim Daraz. So around this mountain range over here in this direction would start to be Bretonia. It'd be all right over here. If they added a Nagash faction to the map, it'd be over here. This is closer to Nagashazar. I think the game would be playable at 12 a.m. West Coast time was the best news I could hope for, and a bright spot in an otherwise crummy week. Well, it's only Monday, man. We're gonna turn it around for you, brother. Assume that's thanks to creators like you. In turn, keep up the awesome work, bro. Well, thank you very much for watching, brother. Old one, I already paid for Chaos Warriors. Why DLC? Because I would imagine it would be like a Lord Pack DLC linked to the Warriors. That would bring them into Warhammer 3 and probably also flesh out the remaining Chaos Demons rosters.
Ogre tyrant.
See, I don't know if I upgrade this. I kind of feel like I break it down. Because if I look at its usefulness, it's only going to give me help when attacking Fort Berg. Burgers here, I guess is what it's called. So maybe we break this down and move this closer to Marienburg. Hello there. What's up, C4? I don't think I have another camp slot coming up anytime soon, though. Ooh. Riding stick. General Kenobi.
The boys are angry.
The boys are angry.
The great Moor.
Yeah, let's break it down. Break it down. Yeah, TW, it's kind of like the big gripe that a lot of us have had. It's like, what's the point of doing that? It already incurs an upkeep, and if we keep breaking it down, it's just not going to be as fun. But if I do move it to like right here, it'll at least probably apply to Marienburg. The biggest thing is it's a point of reinforcement, and the camp is the only place you can make your top tier 4 and 5 buildings. So you could still keep it as a permanent emplacement, almost treating it like a settlement, and walking back to it when you want to replenish your army or certain things like that. Yeah, man, that $500 super chat was huge. Again, huge shout out and thank you to Strife of 6. That's a massive donation, dude. Massive donation. Should Festus and Valkia go to Warriors of Chaos or Khorne and Nurgle? Valkia should go to Warriors of Chaos. Festus, I think, probably Nurgle, or Demons. They do not keep their progress if they're dismantled Ahmad. I guess the kind of caveat around that is that you can, through technology, we've been able to recreate the sarcophagus of King Tut. No, through your research tree, you can make it so that your camps come out with like +5 surplus, so you can jump through a lot of these hoops right away. And it's also nice that it only requires one population to make the building. The rest of the chain is population free. That's pretty crucial. I didn't outline that enough. Arch asks, which legended lore do you think is the Tyrion of Warhammer 3, as in the one with the most basic, easy-to-learn gameplay that you'd recommend for beginners? Skarbrand? And Crazy C4, Skarbrand. Maybe Katarine, just because her army's kind of safe. The place she starts in is relatively safe. The game recommends Miao Ying, I believe. And I don't find Miao Ying to be particularly easy because you have to contend with the mechanics of the unending demon hordes from the wall. That's kind of difficult. Zhao Ming, on the other hand, is way easier than Miao Ying, in my opinion. But I think the campaign, again, slots her as a harder difficulty than Miao. The prologue is the best place to start. That's where you learn everything. Do you have any co-op campaign content up on your channel? No, Mac, but I will be doing one with Turin. The Demon Prince is on the other side of the spectrum from Kosteltian, as far as both are very challenging because you have to deal with constant aggression from either the Order or the Chaos Tide, depending on which character you're playing, right? The Demon's got to deal with Order, Kosteltian's got to deal with Chaos. The Harmony mechanic could be kind of a trip up Rohirrim, but Zhao Ming is just so stupid strong. Like, he's not contested by anyone. His closest one is Greasus, and he doesn't have to worry about the wall. He can just do what he wants. Rockin' Bob, what's up, man? Hang around, my bro. Hang around. So yeah, we'll break this camp down. We'll move... Next turn we'll do it. We'll move right, like... here maybe, and pop that camp up, and it'll give us, it should give us, if that's that distance, yeah, so if I put it right here, it should give me, I'm literally using my wallet to like, almost like a protractor right now, about that distance, so, that'll give us Fort Burb, but it would not give us anything past Marienburg. But we would definitely want it for Marienburg.
SKRAG, slaughter, servant.
Agreed, Spirit of the Fox. Zhao Ming will be easy until we get more lords fleshing out the map. It's what I've said about SKRAG, Boris, and Greasus. Yeah, I mean, absolutely any merit in going deeper into enemy territory to establish long-term camps. Sure. I mean, if I went and hoofed it right over here to place it, I'd get a pretty good camp replenishment location and stuff like that. I wonder if I can march and set up a camp. Let's find out together, bros.
The boss.
Camp's been destroyed.
The great war begins.
I'm trespassing. Oh, I still can. We set up a camp even though we've marched all the way out here, which is actually kind of nice. Then we'll do camp growth. Now take a look too. This thing is already raiding because it's in enemy territory, which is pretty cool. Now this over here, we can start to build out again too. Let's go ahead and we'll make the camp growth building. Doesn't cost gold? Yeah, it does. See? 1,000 gold. It doesn't cost growth to upgrade existing buildings, which is nice. It still costs gold. I'm sorry, it doesn't cost growth. Yeah. So if I build this, I don't need to pay for growth to go beyond that point, which is very nice. Does it raid in radius or only the province it's sitting? I'm almost positive. Yeah, raiding. Yeah, raiding. But I don't think it goes beyond that. It would tell us right here if I look over at this one. Yeah, there's no, it doesn't say a reduction in rating over here. Yes, Spirit of the Fox, Maw Magic's lore attribute is a heal, and it has Troll Guts, which is a heal and regeneration. What's up, Yadrian? What's up, Sam Bruce? Oh, dude, look at the Toddbringer going right for Marienburg right now. He's besieged it. Which is good, because it makes it easier for us to take over.
Ogre tyrant.
And I think that'll be a big thing. This is I assume a strategic location for. Oh, well, we're gonna want Marienburg, you know? I don't know if there's a port, but we're gonna want to. I've never taken it in this campaign, so we're gonna want to go for that. Also, the camp has a special siege map. Dude, do you ever sleep? $10 donation here from Old Timer. Nice content coming all the time. Thanks to your dedication and honest opinions. I'm so excited. I take 2 days off to play because of your videos. Sorry, I can't give you 500. Dude, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. I understand. Thank you very much, Old Timer. Thank you very much for watching throughout this whole process, my brother. I will say, I cannot wait for the game to come out to take a break. You know, like I have been going hard in the paint with Warhammer. So on Thursday the game comes out. We'll stream on Thursday, but I'm taking Friday off, and I might take that whole weekend off. But we'll be starting a campaign in which we'll play through together, and we'll be doing it pretty frequently. I think the week after launch. So next week I'm not going to do much VOD content. I'll do stream content and then just take the rest of the day and evening off to kind of have some fun. Tom Shepherd, he starts right here. Right in Gristle Valley. Wheels for Life, Marienburg's, this is their entire settlement. So Brokewater and Gorsel, as well as Fort Burbs and Marienburg. Yeah, exactly. As soon as the game comes out, you're not going to be seeing much from me. You can pre-download starting the 15th, Curtis. And on top of that, I'm going to have my beginner's guides for people, because you guys got to understand, this is going to be on, what's it called? Game Pass. So we're going to see a huge influx of people to the community. So I'm going to have a combat beginner's guide and a campaign beginner's guide for people that want to learn the game. And then we are going to take a break from VODs for a little bit. So now we've reached turn 11, which unlocks the contracts mechanic. So you get 3 random contacts from visible people on the diplomatic map. So what that means is I can't see Cathay, so they're never going to give me a contract. But I can see Reichland, Midland, and Marienburg, and each one of them has a respective contract here. So Reichland saying they want me to kill Sadiq over there. Midland wants me to go raise or sack Fort Burbs, and then Marienburg wants me to raise or sack Marienburg. What we can do, I want to occupy Marienburg. We're definitely going to want to take this, and it just got beat up pretty heavy. In fact, part of me wants to just take it right now. Just go right for it, you know? Which we could do. But I can also take this to accept a... I could take this then try to go for a what's it called after?
Do not waste my time with petty talk. Make your offer and be done.
Make your offer and be done. Be gone from my sight. I don't... Xanra's or Razor, I don't know what you're asking me to wait for. Yes, because Midland's got Marienburg, and they just took it. They just took it. Isn't it sad for... No, all starting factions, when they first come into the game, they don't have the Regiments of Renown. So let's do this. We'll accept this. We'll go smash this out. Autosave, smash this out. Marienburg's about to get just dunked on right now, man. And we'll auto-resolve that. And we will... we'll sack tapit.com. That gives us money. Now that locks out our contracts. Accept missions after completion will improve relations between the two, but we can only take one or the other. This will get our income building. Castle Drakenfels. Let's go ahead and make marble here.
It's gotta kick off soon.
I'll go pickle. There. Here, we'll start with poll. Let's have a fun. Let's have some fun. I'll make a poll right now. What will your first campaign be? Demons, doesn't matter which, any kind, all flavors. Kislev. We'll add Cathay into the mix. Or Ogre Kingdoms. Of course, I don't have enough options to do all of them, all 12, but there you go. Answered away. She's not hard. She's not easy on higher difficulties, but she's not nearly as punishing as Kosteltian.
No ogre can beat me. I bring me.
And let's do an offering here. Let's go ahead and grab campaign movement range, because now you can see we're going to be going to much further distant locations here. Come and get it. What race from prior to the wars would fare best in Warhammer 3? That's a good question. Probably Skaven. I mean, there's such a tool chest, right? They can do everything. And what Skaven could always do everything, but in the tabletop, they had the shortcoming of not being able to. They had randomness that would always kind of detract from the faction, right? Something would do, hey, yeah, you can do all that, but oof, that thing might explode. And if it explodes, then it causes this ripple effect, So you had that kind of mechanic built into Skaven, which doesn't exist actually here in this game, which is kind of interesting, right? You know what? Maybe we don't make that cave here. Yeah, fuck it. We don't make the cave here. They get 2 defensive buildings, which is kind of cool. One for growth, which is awesome. This gives growth and ogre bowls. But this is like your true defensive building, right? This gives you bowls of 3 different types and then man-eaters, which is always really cool. So Demons All Flavors is winning, probably because there's 5 campaigns attached to the term demons here. Alright, Rohirrim, have a good one, brother. Go ahead and take that now.
Guide us.
Ooh, Charm Shield.
The great war begins. I'm boss.
Oh, wait, one more turn for that. I'm gonna assign skill points.
Wait.
Let's grab the next level here of Tooth Cracker, methinks. Actually, no, we'll finish out the Gorgers, and then we'll grab Tooth Cracker into Meat Cleaver. Yeah, I think that's our route.
Bring you meat.
Lackluster rosters? I just think it's lackluster that we're missing some things, but no one directly has a lackluster roster. Alright guys, give me 1 sec. I'm going to refill my water bottle. I'll be right back. So 1 second here. Give me 1 second too, guys. It turns out I also have to pee. So, I'm going to play this really fast. We'll be right back.
The ogres feast to honor Greasus the Over-Tyrant. Their appetites are ferocious. I must be wary.
Time's up, wizard. No. Put him in the stew.
Wait! Untold power can be harnessed from a dying god.
Power? Ogres take what they want. What more power do we need? Boil the pot! Fresh meat!
Please wait! The god is up there! You can't devour it!
Quiet! A bear, you say?
Sounds tasty.
Shut up! A new meat. God flesh.
Enough for you, your warriors, and your god, the Great Maw.
I can smell it now. Roast god ribs.
A feast like no other.
You're no meat eater. What's in it for you?
My book reveals a path to his deathbed. I will show you the way for one drop of Ursun's divine blood.
One drop. But ogres get the rest.
That is the deal.
Okay. Why was Greasus standing? I mean, he can walk for 2 or 3 steps at a time, you know. All right here. How's this poll doing? 214 of you have voted on it. 36% of you are saying demons. 28% of you are saying Kiss of a Cathay, being the lowest at 14%. Spicy. Bros, we got 473 of you watching, 333 likes. Make sure you're liking the stream. It helps me out a ton. Thank you very much ahead of time. Yes, Advisor is playing it. Whoever will basically help him get access to Ursun's blood. Okay, so now we have a portion here of the wasteland. We can start getting a little frisky-disky. Let's not piss off the Empire just yet.
I'll eat any challenger.
Yeah, 100%, Elliot. It's definitely unfair, but I didn't have a chance to put in all 12 faction deals or faction starts there, unfortunately. Orcs versus ogres in a straight up brawl. Who wins? Ogres? Yeah, we're just talking like straight up fisticuffs here, right? No underhanded underseediness going on. Definitely ogres. Yeah, he's definitely on the side of whoever you pick.
Leader of the tribe.
Where is our...
Won't stop till everything's mine.
Children of the Great Maw. This is actually a pretty spicy little fight here. Not really showing me the fight. The fight was... It's big. You have to fight a bunch of... Oh, here, quest issued. Enemy forces. So, 4 units of Storm Vermin with Halberds, 3 Poison Wind Globadiers, then 3 Rat Ogres, and 2 Warp Lightning Cannons. I mean, that's not too fun. It's definitely probably doable, but you know there's going to be reinforcements. As the Gore Harvester, SKRAG is ever on the lookout for fresh meat for his cauldron. Long days spent wandering the undercaves taught the Prophet of the Great Maw to observe the gorgers which haunt his every step, where their feral senses allow them to root out fresh quarry to satisfy their gnawing hunger. When the gorgers' nostrils flare and their famished eyes gleam red, SKRAG knows that slaughter is close at hand, and he has learned to gauge the scale of potential feast by the gorgers' silent eagerness. On this day, the gorgers have spent some time sniffing eagerly beyond the caverns, heading up out of the darkness and into the peaks with saliva stringing from their hideous teeth. SKRAG's instinct is that they are on to something big, and he follows them, determined that his cauldron will have the greatest share of the fresh glut. Ooh. And you'll get the Cauldron of the Great Maw, which is damn good. We're gonna go over here and pop open Broke Water, finish it off, bring it into the Empire, and then we'll go for Marienburg over here, which will start to get pretty juicy. Michael, I'm not going to ruin the campaign for you. I haven't answered that question, but you'll find out when you watch the campaign.
You are me.
Hochland has declared war on me, which is just hog swallow.
Its whispers never end.
Yes?
Yeah? Get you gone from my sight!
My celestial light blinds you, but do try to focus.
Yeah, give me that payment, Miao Yang.
Aw.
The nation call. You are not welcome in my court. Yet.
I don't know why you're mad at me. I have not done anything for you. But Midland, I'm more than happy to get on their side.
Now.
Master Butcher.
Did you just laugh at my want to not spoil it for you?
The slaughterer goes.
Good, yes. That'll happen in a turn. I want Gristle Valley to have a defensive structure here. That's interesting. Don't know. It's a weird stance to take, but Okay. Sorry, Scary Coder. It doesn't automatically do that, unfortunately.
Anyone want to challenge me? My gut is law.
If there's anything you guys want me to show you, by all means, though, please let me know.
One day.
I have not been showing a lot of stuff off on purpose. This will give us Gluttony, which is a healing spell, which will help out when we take Marienburg. Voiced by Alex Jones. Imagine that, man. Just go to fucking Marienburg, just all cracked out. The butchers have come up with something new, boss. Ketchup, they call it. It's red, but ain't blood. Comes from something called a tomato. Don't make no sense. The tribe's going crazy for it, though. What do we do about it? Pay them in ketchup. Reduces that recruitment cost. Meat generated -2 for all armies. And then we don't eat fruit and veg. Growth +20 all provinces. Boom, that's happening. How does the mercenary stuff work? So, if you are within range of this, any other faction can recruit ogre mercenaries from you. You get contracts, though, every 10 turns to do, and they're basic little quests to go and kill something. James Purfoy, that'd be pretty cool, actually, Anthony. Go pop Brokewater right here. Ooh, this is actually going to be a sizable garrison. This isn't annoying that it's a... It should not be a Pyrrhic victory for this. It's because they get so much more range than me. I'm going to auto-resolve this and save the fight with Empire for Marienburg. Yeah, it kind of eats me up a little bit, but that's not a big deal. ZachTappit.com. And then we'll come back and take it, right? Well, I guess we do it right now. Occupy. And we can... you know, I think if I had waited a turn, they'd have repaired it, and then I could have taken advantage of that, but not what happened. Okay, so Gristle Valley, we're going to make this upgrade, and then I'm going to swap around how this all works. I want to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this right now and get a defensive building in there, because we definitely going to have Hawkland kind of breathing down my cock.
In charge. Bring me something's leg.
I think you could do that for a long time, Wrath. Oh yeah, you know what I said, Peeling. You guys all know it. Everybody knows what I said. Say it again. Breathing down my cock. Goes back to the start, Kyle. What a name, Kyle, by the way. Kyle Fucker? Okay. You win.
Such butchery it promises.
Least impressed with? My vote has been going for the ogres, just because I don't like ogres very much. A lot of people seem to like this one the most, though, to be honest. So, it just depends on who you are.
Even meat won't calm us.
The game runs quite smoothly, Dark Mega. It is quite enjoyable.
By the comet!
By the comet! I don't know what you are doing in my lands, Boris.
SKRAG, silver,
Okay, so where is our radius is just about there. I know, Misha, you missed the donation of donations here today. I have never seen a single donation that large, aside from like a, you know,
Thank you for the donation.
something like, what's his name? Who's the big dick daddy from Cincinnati? What's his name, man? Dr. Disrespect. Mac, thank you very much, dude. $5 donation here saying, might not be 500, but I seriously appreciate all the hard work and great content. Well, thank you very much, dude. It doesn't need to be 500. I appreciate a $1 donation just as much, guys. So thank you very, very, very much. How's Mom Magic so far? Love it, Raph. Unfortunately, like, the symptom of early access is one content creator speaks out against one aspect of a game when it comes to either the lores or whatever it is, and it becomes kind of like everyone thinks that that's then creed, unfortunately. So I would, anytime you hear any content creator, myself included, speaking out against something, just wait until it actually comes out. You can get your hands on it, and get your own opinion on it. Like, I don't like the Ogre campaign, but Mandalore Gaming does. Just like I've said that other people are going to love this Ogre campaign, I don't, because I just don't like the army or the aesthetic or the overall goal of ogres. But other people will. So just, I'd say reserve a lot of those kind of things for when you're playing. Like I heard Great Book of Grudges said that he didn't really like the lore of Great Maw, or I know that Legend doesn't like the lore of Ice. He thinks it's crap. I don't agree, you know? The total ripoff, that's a lot of words for the magic isn't very, the Maw magic isn't very good. So if you had been watching earlier, I did not say that, and so that's a lot of words to say that you didn't pay attention. I appreciate your stance, though, because I actually very much like the lore of Maw magic. It has a heal, it has a big damage shot, it has armor and damage and missile mitigation, which the ogres do not have much of. As you can see, 30 armor across their front line here is not bueno.
All mine.
Okay.
I'll eat this whole stinking world. It hungers. The more sends me.
We'll have Big Daddy just walking down here, big baby.
The great more.
I'm just out of range here. We're gonna scoot into it.
Prophet of the great more. Seek tribute.
There we go. We'll wait on that. I guess we'll just replenish this big boy. I high armored ogres on tabletop. Iron Guts I think had a 4-up. Ooh, we got a Fire Belly. Just because PC Trier, I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on it when I had a pretty low amount of money. So right now I would do it. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I would upgrade the settlement and then I'll do it next turn, to be honest. Alright, so we got Gar here. Look at this guy. Anyone who wanted to see the Fire Belly, here you go. Yeah, the mounted Iron Guts, I think I have 130 or 140 in the game. The Blessing of the Volcano gives you ward save and fire res. That's pretty juicy. Fire Within increases your weapon strength pretty significantly, 2 to 12%. Fire Breath. Whew! Flame Incarnate. I've yet to actually even look at the Fire Belly, to be totally honest with you guys. Melee damage reflection plus 14, which is juicy. Name the Fire Belly Strife after the Ginorgantuan super chat. I mean, I can do it. I can do it if you want me to. Strife, you want this Fire Belly named after you? because I'm going to do it for you. Active ability Explosion. Eruption here. Look out. Immortality, as you would expect. And this is the Lore of Fire. We get the whole Lore of Fire here. All the way into Arcane Conduit. Then for our bottom abilities, Scouting, Block Army, Specialist is not an ability. Spread Control, Damage Walls, Wound. Then we get Wanderer, which is going to increase Scouting, Action, Magic Item, Drop Chance increased by an additional 10%, Speed 20%, and Vanguard Deployment. Firebrand. I'm good, Alpaca. How you doing, dude? Firebrand Spread Control action is modified here. Control Terror causes terror. Incendiary, damage wall, action 2 additional wall breaches. Cooldown. I mean, do I even need those wall breaches, you know, at this point? Destroyer enables sundering attacks. That's pretty damn good. Then Magma Incarnate gives me a whopping 40 plus armor and block army action chance. That's pretty cool. That is a fun hero. It is done. Gar Strife it is.
We've been treated like meat.
We've been treated like meat. I'm actually going to make this crap moat. Moats of Ogre and Rhinox crap will surround particularly valuable and established tribal locations. Whole armies of foes have drowned in them before. I want to make sure that this entryway into all my provinces is secured, because remember, we're at war with Hawkland over here.
Eternal fire.
Jesus Christ, he's screaming at me.
Ogre tyrant. The Godmouth's command.
Frosted like a flake. Quotha returns. It's some Skaven corruption. Boris Topping are just sitting here in Marienburg, which is just rustling my jimmies right now. How am I supposed to take Marienburg from Boris the Todbringer?
Won't stop till everything's mine.
So we need 3 more growth to get Tribal Campground, which I would like to get. Get access to some more Gorgers. And good. And we'll make... You know what, we'll make that. That costs a lot to make. Fine, we'll just go with some income. I mean, we have a lot of income coming in, which is really nice.
So, approach and make your offer.
Ooh, the Lower Lorne Elves, they don't like me much.
Briefly, then remove your fight. What?
Favored daughter.
I mean, okay, so people ask me, are you liking the ogres, all that stuff? I enjoy them, they wouldn't be my first go-to campaign. It's kind of what I've been saying. I like other factions way more. How do I do this? Ooh. Oh, cargo. Let's wait right here.
Rest, pray, eat, worship. Firebelly.
Oops, meant to make him move further. And also, for those who don't know, units will repair themselves gradually over time. So now it is much cheaper for me to just repair this building in one go.
Someone better keep us sweet.
Oh my.
SKRAG.
Okay. And now we can take Marienburg. That does kind of open up 2 little fronts for us. Are we still at war with these guys?
The Empire. Do not waste my time with petty talk.
Why do you want to fight me so much? Always the dude, always. You guys should check out, if you go to the gym or you want to support a company, Norse Fitness is a really cool company. They do a bunch of strongman lifting. And they're from don't even remember where they're from. I thought they were from Iceland at one point, but they're not. But they're a great small company. I think it's like 4 or 5 people. And they've been growing pretty well over the last couple of years, especially during the pandemic. So I definitely support the Norse Fitness. Which Demon Lord will you play for? Demon Legendary Lord, will you play first? Undivided Demon Prince, Kairos Fate Weaver, Ugoth the Plague Father, Cougs, Nakari. I actually can only ask 4. I can't ask Scarbrand. Well, there it goes. I can only ask 4. I can't ask 5, unfortunately. Yeah, dude, the Blood DLC, that's going to come at launch. I wish we could get early access to it to show you guys how fucking epic it's going to be. I mean, I have not seen it, but I mean, I think we all know. We all know that's going to be pretty sick. I need that. Okay, like, I would definitely... Khorne's my favorite on that list, unfortunately. Yeah, it's coming like... I thought it was coming like the day of launch. Couldn't fit him on the list, Travis. Alright, so do we take... Here, let's just march across. Oh, okay. Never mind. You got 2 armies over here? Over? Why would I recommend it over Warhammer 2, Zapalka? I don't recommend it over Warhammer 2, but I mean, like, there's no reason to recommend it over Warhammer 2, I guess I could say. If I had to choose 1, 2, or 3, I would choose them all. Okay, so. Oh, this will give me Bullgut. Raise or sack the following settlement. Grisenwald. So this is when, like, that campaign movement really kind of comes in handy, right? They want me to go all the way over here to Grisenwald, bypass all this, to go and sack or raise this, and they'll give me this piece of armor, and then treasury as well as diplomatic relation. Whereas, you know, Laurel Lauren wants me to go take apart the Foul Fortress all the way up here. So this is when, like, camps and stuff like that can be particularly useful. You can use it as kind of a staging point for invasions in those directions. Involved, not going over there. I don't think I'd actually take any of these. Maybe this one. I think, to be totally honest with you, if I had to rank them, it would go 3, 2, 1. I think Warhammer 1 is the least fun, now compared to Warhammer 2 and 3. Yeah, it's totally unfair, right? It's like, I can't look at Warhammer 2 as a comparison against 3, because 3 doesn't have mortal empire or immortal empires, whatever it will be called. And because of that, Warhammer 2 has just got so much more content. The treasury reward increases over time, Sun Tzu. And on top of it, you can get, Sun Tzu. You can also get research or technologies that will increase it by up to 30% across all of them. So, what do we do, my bros? What do we do? Start with Fireball, okay. Do we take Marienburg right now? No, I can't. So I could do stuff with Midland, but I'd rather just take out their territory. Ariloth, maybe Alpacalypse.
So, who calls?
Most importantly, though, 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2, there was some sort of weird bullshit with lighting and issues like that. That's fixed in 3. So if we're talking purely graphics, 3 is the best of all 3 because it has improvements, the optimization is better, and that lighting bug that exists in 2 does not exist in 3. 1 and 2 look very different if you go back and play them both. Do you know, will the charge bracing bug be fixed before launch? Also, what are your thoughts on the CJI? CJI is actually really solid, to be totally honest. I don't think I've played a Siege where I was like, I'm steamrolling. You definitely can steamroll, but I definitely feel that the weaker armies are scary. Obviously, larger ones are scarier, but they're not. It's not so much of a pushover anymore. Sieges are definitely like an uphill battle. And the charge bracing bug, I do not think it's fixed by the time launch happens, but they will be announcing. There is a lighting bug still in multiplayer when it comes to when you're on a snow map, the little glow around units does exist. But charge bracing bug, I don't know when it'll be fixed. They said they're rolling out a big optimization patch. So Holy and Vale said that. Holy and Evil said Legend cheese the heck out of the siege battles. LAMO. Do you play like Legend does? I mean, that's kind of a serious question. Because I think a lot of people watch the way Legend of Total War plays and use that as proof of X or Y being broken or not fun or not good. And dude, Legend has been cheesing it since Warhammer 1. I used to play siege battles exactly like Legend did, right? Smash everything up against the left or right wall, and then go down that pipe and just kind of squeeze through one tower, take that route. If you play like Legend does, and again, I'm not saying Legend plays in a bad way or a good way. Legend plays how he wants to play. He's playing on Legendary. I can't do that. He does. So you do kind of have to cheese some mechanics. But if you're playing on normal, hard, very hard, easy, you're going to play the game entirely different. Play the game you want. Know that cheese always exists, but no matter what, if you take advantage of cheese, then that's you taking advantage of an exploit that exists within a system. And if you expect them to eliminate any and all possible exploits, that's just not going to happen. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, cheese will always exist, and if you want to use it, use it. But I just don't. Like I said, though, that's sometimes the way you have to play those types of games. Or like Legendary, right? Like, Legendary sometimes it's like, fuck, you're so stacked up against you, you kind of have to jump balls deep in, like, a doom stack of X, Y, or Z, you know? They're rolling out an optimization patch that will launch with the game. It's in beta right now for us to check out to see. But the game right now, like, if I go to Kislev, my FPS kind of drops a little bit in certain pockets of it. It's mainly because of this. This seems to cause a little drop in frames per second. Fog in a lot of games tends to do that. So that will probably be coming out. And the game is already pretty well optimized. So that'll come out at launch. And they said that they are going to be releasing how they'll approach patches post-launch, because it will not be the same as Warhammer 2. Patches will be more frequent and smaller. It just seems silly to me to not stack up against the left side when you take a town. I mean, hey, the dude, I'm not even going to finish reading your comment because that's just the way you want to play, man. You want to min-max it, not everyone does. Bro, it's on Sneak. Is it? Right now I can think of 15 different things. I can fucking process all of them right now. Ah, Sneak! Which reminds me, make sure you go ahead and head on over to sneakenergy.com. Use the credit code SPARTY at checkout. Support that channel, bros. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and go balls deep on this, and we'll fight this fight. Let's take a look at actual Marienburg. I guess we can just jump in, but this is the siege for Marienburg. Let's all not like jump. Let's not jump hard on that roadmap though for 2022. I think that that's a bold move by Creative Assembly to release another roadmap for 2022 when they've already done FLC and DLC arrays in the past and have very rarely stuck to it. I'd rather see a very loose general idea of the next 3 steps, not a limit to a constraint of a year, right? Like they're saying, hey, for 2022, we want to do these 4 pieces of content. I'd rather they just say the next things we are working on sequentially are X, Y, and Z. Because I feel like otherwise it creates a lot of expectation for the Total War community, which in the past, the Total War community has been quite adamant about getting things that they have said is coming in a specific roadmap. And I think that's not relegated strictly to Total War, that's relegated to pretty much every community. So I'd rather they just said, here's what we're going to be working on, here's how we would like to deliver that coming up. Because I already know that they're going to fuck up that DLC or FLC array. They did it last time. Do you think Magic Slow-Mo makes it way better for all spells and just enjoy? What is that? What do you mean, old timer? I think it's a really crucial addition to the game. I really like it because that's a lot of the big challenge of spells is trying to line it up, and having it all just slow down naturally is way cooler. Michael Garrison's got the pitchfork ready. I say we just kind of gonna have some fun with this. A little sneaky sneak over here on the hill. This is a crazy map, by the way. Like this hill we have to charge up. Oh, that's juicy. And also, this is kind of a pretty juicy little area. Do you think we'll see newer Age of Sigmar stuff in Warhammer 3? Yeah, I mean, all the demon stuff we've seen so far, for the most part, has been newer Age of Sigmar stuff. I think we'll probably get the newer Age of Sigmar models for the, what are they called? The new Slanesh Warriors. I could see us getting those. I could see us getting the Varangard later down the road. That'd be pretty sweet. Because it's not necessarily Age of Sigmar, you know? Like, yeah, it is, but no, it's not.
The more commands.
Okay, let's take a look at this map here. Let's swing through the lovely map of Marienburg. So I think this might be like a generic... Like, I'm not sure if this is like, hey, here's our dedicated Marienburg map. I wouldn't be surprised if more of the old world stuff started to get like kind of fleshed out more as we get into different portions of the dev cycle of Warhammer 3. Because nothing about this makes it Marienburg, right? Like, I don't see a big port. I don't see a lot of, you know, water access outside of these little like creeks and whatnot next to a mountain range, which there is no mountain range near Marienburg. So I think this is just kind of like a generic Empire map, and it still looks great. It still looks great, but I just don't want people to look at this and go, "That's not Marienburg." I just think I think it's deliberately there for this, and like maybe in the future content. Like, what would be cool is if every time they do, like, okay, here's a DLC for High Elves and Dark Elves. Okay, well, in that DLC, we are going to add custom maps or custom locations, because this is definitely not. Yeah, just like Ash Herder said, this is not Marienburg, right? Marienburg is a port city. But again, this is still a sick map, right? Like, you have the ability to put artillery on this bridge, have this bridge then shoot into this gate if it's far enough, like mortars or something like that. You have Overwatch on this kind of ramp up. So there's still like so many layers to these maps, and I really do like them. Even this, dude, look at this little spot. This entire, I'm going to siege this wall, and all they have to do is put a bunch of like handgunners up here, or cannons and stuff like that. So that is really, really cool. I like that it's not just simply attack these walls. You've got these little like kind of kill boxes you can create. I'm good, Hugh. How are you doing, brother? How the Gorgers play? Sorry, dude. The Gorgers are my favorite units in the roster. I think they're so good. Ogres do not get ladders, but Noblars do. Alright, so let's go ahead, knob up that wall. Let's knob up this wall, and then we'll gorge this wall. Yeah, totally. Like I said, it's a perfectly fine map. I like it quite a bit, you know.
The walking me will walk.
So ogres though get this ability, Stone Shaker, which I'll just be able to blow up a portion of the wall. If I buy Total War Warhammer 3 from that link, you get a cut, right? Yes, if you use the Nexus Store link, I get a cut. I will get 6%, or no, I get 15%. So I get $6 for every time someone buys from that link. But support the content creator you want to support the most. Don't feel compelled to buy from my link, please. All right, now we'll go in for that, and now we'll go in for this. Gorger's over here doing the deed. John, it's not out yet. They said they're going to release it on when the game comes out. Oh! Those towers are pretty brutal, man. That fort tower just beat the shit out of me. Scarlet Game Show, we've gone over that quite a bit. I also have a spoiler-free breakdown of those mechanics. You can find that in my on my VODs right now for Grease's Goldtooth, or you can jump to the beginning of this video and take a look at that. But take a look at this. We have these, for those that are just kind of coming into the stream right now, Stone Shaker right here. Ba-boom! So I don't need ladders. I just go right through the wall.
Relentless hunger.
Let's go, Noblage!
Master of the meat pot.
Master of the meat pot.
Slice the meat. Bringers me. Looking for me. Chopper of entry. SKRAG the slaughterer. Hook-handed butcher for the godman.
Say for the God Bear? Well, that's open. Go attack that. Gorge on the Gorgers. Alright, Hugh, have a good one, man. Ogres cannot climb walls, no.
Hungry.
Can you move into the gap, please?
Looking for me. Off we go. Great Lord.
Come right into that.
The Great Lord.
Yeah, look at this, right? They just have just clear shot right into all of my Noblars over there, which is pretty cool.
The more that walks, butcher them. It is ours. It is the Moors.
This is a single unit heal. We'll use that right there. And we'll slow this whole group down.
SKRAG the slaughterer. When do we eat? Son of the Moor.
Where's me master?
Oh man, my little guy's back here getting shot up.
Where's me master?
Ba-boom!
It's yours now. Oh, Moor. Biggest in the tribe.
So it's just kind of awesome, right? They just have this like slow, ponderous, like move through everything like slowly. They'll take some hits, they'll take some kills, but they'll just rip through stuff.
Servant of the Moor. Slaughterer. Take it all.
When do we eat?
Are there any legendary lords that don't love they're screaming out their own names?
Get him dead!
No, you cannot climb this wall. See?
These ogre mates!
Let me do it. And a victory indeed. We have taken Marienburg. Dude, right? Drika just sits there and... Ah! Thanks, John. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you, by the way, brother. How are the saber tusk? They're great. They do rampage, though, below a certain health threshold. But they're very strong. They do quite a bit of damage. We have occupied Marienburg. Have a good one, Curtis. Thanks for watching, man. Which one, Michael? Which sound? I know you are, baby. I know you are. Let me do a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, that. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I, unfortunately, because of a thing called Super Bowl, I was not able to go Draga! I was not, this is a pickup order? I want it to be a delivery order. I was not able to go to the grocery store. So I have to, unfortunately, order food. So give me 1 second here, guys. We can keep playing after that. This allows me to, not delivery. Fuck. Allows me to just keep playing and not having to worry about it. Leave it at my door. Where does Greg start? Here, he starts right here. At the Gristle Valley. So to show that off right there. The Rings of... I have not watched the Rings of Power trailer yet, man. Are you five-finger fucking me right now? Hey everyone, look at Mr. Streamer here, able to be eating food. Down with the bourgeoisie, up with the proletariat. They usually have like a cool like... I tell you what, brother. I don't understand what the hell the difference between chicken with mixed vegetables and chicken chop suey is. It seems to be the same thing. I think it's all white meat. Whatever. Have you ever heard of the High Elves? Once or twice. I'm getting good Chinese food. I'm not gonna fuck around here. Sorry, guys. Man, I watched like I've watched like Dr. Disrespect stream, And he just straight up eats in the middle of the stream. I'm like, man, take a break, bro. That sucks. Like, give yourself, like, hey guys, you know, we're gonna take a 25-minute break. Just gonna put the on intermission. We'll be back. I get it. Like, I understand why he does it, because it can be hard to get your stream back online. But dude, like that, it just, that sucks you dry. It does, you know, like. That is what I'm fucking looking. Oh man. I watched him like eat a whole bowl of fucking chow mein on stream, and I'm like, man. Perfect. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Now I can keep playing while this gets delivered, versus ending the stream early. Turn it to ASMR. Here you go. You can watch me go ahead and eat this. Eat my whole entire meal slowly. Slowly but surely, I'll consume this meal on stream, and we'll have a good time. Do the pool so we can choose your meal. Thank you, Michael Garrison. Chop Suey is cabbage based now. It doesn't say it does, but I love cabbage, so I'll do it. There are very few things in American Asian cuisine that I won't eat. But traditional Asian, traditional Chinese, like Chinese banquet food, it takes a lot. You kind of have to get over a lot of, I guess, Western conceptions of how food works and how it is, because Chinese banquet food is way different than like, oh, you know, I'm gonna order Chinese food. Like that's super Americanized Chinese food, you know? So it is a much different experience. Oh, wait, take a look at this. This is our tier 3 ogre building. Looks very much like the watchtower for orcs in Warcraft 3. Tripe, intestine, yop, 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 yop. We are not gonna, we're gonna build our next upgrade here. So we're gonna hold off on anything.
Won't stop till everything's mine.
Oh, I won't stop.
Your flesh will melt.
God, the fire belly sounds really sick. I have not, but I have watched a couple documentaries on having Chinese banquet food, or at least actual Chinese cuisine, and how much it differs from like the American palate and American cuisine, American Chinese cuisine. The Lorelorn elves over here being dick balls. Let's go ahead and do campaign movement range again. They're probably going to try to jump across.
Consider yourself lucky that we didn't send you to parley with the Dryads.
Why does he have like a Castilian lisp? Consider yourself lucky that you didn't send you to parley with the Dryads. Buenos dias.
Yes? You need me? Not since the coming of Morga has Athelloren been so tainted.
So tainted.
What? I am told you want to talk.
Yeah, give me that trade agreement, brother.
I will have my favor. Norska, a timely arrival.
Give me that trade agreement.
Warhounds haven't. Yes.
Nice. Look at Ogres having a massive trade port.
Eternal fire.
I don't need a hero name for me, but powerful unit name something created for me. Absolutely, man.
Must butcher.
The dual old timers. Old timer bowls. Done, brother. So let's see here. I kind of want to maybe ditch a unit to put my fire belly in here, but I can also not have that. Bro, you, what's up, dude? American Chinese is basically an extremely Flanderized subset of Cantonese food. I mean, you're not wrong. It's funny too, as a lot of, from what I understand, a lot of Chinese immigrants that go to like a Chinese-owned Chinese food restaurant will go in and say, "Hey, actually, I want this," and it'll be like true Chinese cuisine, and they'll have it come out for them. You cannot move your camps. You have to disband them and then remove them and then move them to another location, unfortunately.
It hungers.
I honestly think we... What should you... Oh, Uber Eats for your wife tonight. Well, what's her favorite food? I kind of feel like that's the go-to, right? I want to get to 3,000 here, so, you know, it will be good to do this, I think. 3,400.
In charge.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Mexican? We'll get, like, fancy fucking Mexican food.
I'll eat this old
And you gotta plate it. I mean, obviously this is for Valentine's Day, so you have to plate it. You can't just have it in the thing it comes in. It's gotta be plated. Oof. And then go to like a fancy... Oh, see, I knew he'd jump across. Go to like a fancy steak restaurant and get like a butter cake. Because butter cake is fucking amazing. Look at this guy, this Colas dude back here. Who is this? This little boat. Yeah, play a guitar. Oof, craft mac. You can get... Okay, so Frozen Snake says Kraft mac and cheese supremacy. You can get pretty horny with Kraft mac and cheese. So here's how you would do it. Oh, al pastor. The measure of any good Mexican restaurant is al pastor. 100%. I don't give a shit about your carne or your fucking carnitas. I want your al pastor to be fucking great. So you forgot Scarbrand. I couldn't put him in GPLR. It only allows me to put 4 in. I do like barbacoa, but I love al pastor more. Well, if I move over there, Boris comes and attacks my land. Kind of don't really care if anything happens over here. We want Marienburg to be the juicy one. Old timer, man. You know, it's important in relationships. You know, you got to be able to. You got to be able to understand that each of you have different likes and wants out of certain things in life, and if you don't like that person's hobby, you at least have to appreciate it. And if it's like if someone's been waiting for something for so long, you kind of got to give them that little bit, right? You got to give them the road there. Let's go over here. I'm in a rock and a hard place. Bruno Leonardus. Can I even reach? Oh, he wouldn't be able to reach or siege that turn. So let's kind of... They're in the world routes. So let's just spook them out. They won't. Probably double back, but we'll find out what happens. Okay, if you have Kraft mac and cheese, here's what you do. Buy a lobster tail. Lobsters are not that expensive. A single lobster tail is... Ooh, that's a double full stack.
Lord and in charge.
I actually don't think we can defend that.
Not possible.
I'll ignore.
I mean, we can defend that. You guys want to? You guys want that to be the culmination of the stream right there?
It is yours and more. Burning wonder.
I mean, I'd like to get the shipwreck read, but I'm in the middle of 2 big warring factions. And that's also going to reinforce and help that out. Let's get...
Where you going, mate?
Meat gained, meat generated. Upkeep reduction, yeah. What up, Mateus? How you doing, dude? Uh-oh, man, we're getting a lot of corruption down here, bro. Reduce that corruption. Okay, so we've got Ogre Throng, which is great, meaning I can make another, now I can make another camp. Oh. I mean, Rio just nailed it. So yeah, you're gonna wanna, you either boil or you're gonna grill the lobster. I'm a big fan of grilling it because it's super easy. All you gotta do is crack down the top of it, open it up, keep the bottom membrane intact. You crack it open, you put it flesh side down on a grill first. No. Then you put it shell side down first to get the flesh to kind of, shell side down to get the flesh to kind of cook up a bit. Then you swap it up and put it flesh side down. And you want to push something onto it, make it like flatten out. And once you've done that, you really only need to do is like coat it in like butter with like a little bit of salt and pepper. And then you pull that out, you cut those into chunks. You get the Kraft mac and cheese, you boil the mac, you put it in a bowl. Once it's done, you cut up those chunks, put it in the bowl with the pasta. Then throw in the pouch, add in a little bit of milk, and then throw in like a little bit of garlic powder too. Mix that all up. Old Bay is a really good seasoning to throw in with this too. Mix that all up. Put it into like a cast iron or like another casserole dish. You can cover it with breadcrumb or more cheese like Parmesan and or mozzarella, and put it into oven for a little bit and broil the top of it to give it a nice good crust, and boom, you're good. Fucking good.
Living flame.
Let's just block this army. I don't want to move around as much. Ah, you failed me for the last time, Anakin. I knew they'd move away. They always do. Yeah, I'll take that trade agreement any day. Yeah, that's a good point. You can kind of make the sauce almost like a roux, where you make the sauce in a separate dish. And you could even get kind of horny with it and use a little bit of the pasta water to retain the starch to help thicken the sauce. Like a little bit.
The Tomb of Fate calls to me.
The Tomb of Fate calls to me. Yes, if you guys want to join the Discord here, go ahead. Here's our Discord. You can hop on and have some fun with us. We have a close-knit family. Don't join it trying to be a shithead, because we will kick you out pretty quickly. I don't actively, like, I moderate it, but I have some mods that are unflinching of any bullshit the INS will pull, and they will kick thee immediately. But please come have some fun.
SKRAG, soldier, servant.
Yeah, man, Michael Garrison, don't worry about it. My brother has kids, and they are all gamers. He doesn't get a choice.
Voice of the volcano.
Oh, wisdom teeth being pulled. I'm sorry, Mateus. I mean, you can get pretty horny with some soups, though, too, bro. Yeah, wound it. Fire within, blessing from the fire god. That's pretty sick. We'll go with a little bit of fireball. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta pee real quick, and we'll deal. We gotta figure out how to deal with this. The one thing I always hate that the AI does is like, okay, I'm not gonna pull you in 4 different directions. I'm not gonna dedicate to attack or defense on any one of those, and it's like, fuck, man. Gluttony. We'll do that one. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta pee real fast.
Throw a feast in my honor. I'll leave only ashes. Gonna be over, Tyrant, one day.
Alright, let's have some fun. Guys, Ren is here. She's visiting. She's visiting us from Australia. Please go and check out Ren's channel. Lots of fun strategy game reviews. One of the best voices I've ever heard next to my own beautiful man voice. Hers is, like I've said before, warm silk. With a slight Australian kick at the end of it. Like that royal Australian accent, you know? Not the full-on penal colony Australian accent, which is always really nice. Okay, we're gonna stay here for one more turn, see where this person ends up, and then attack them. I'm not gonna repair that because they might just double down on it. I mean, when you were... I remember being like a kid throughout... Actually, this is something Ren and I have talked about in a podcast that you can find on Ren's channel. When we were kids, you know, it's like you play video games, you were a fucking nerd. And being a nerd was still like labeled pretty like negatively, right? So it's pretty cool to see how gaming has progressed to such a, not even such a large following and support, but a pop culture thing. If you don't game, everyone games in some way, shape, or form. Like, you know, you had like the jocks and like the cheerleaders and the nerds and the math athletes and all that stuff. And it's like, now it's not like that. All these people are connected by some sort of like underlying thread of gaming. There's even like the symptom of people raising their kids with iPads in hand, you know, iPad raising their kids. And it's really funny how that works, now. How games are so central to our society and how we come closer and closer to having like Major League Gaming becoming a huge big thing, right? Like, there is the National Football League, right? NFL for America. Then there's the NBA, which is basketball. And then there's MLG. There's Major League Gaming. Those are the top 3 sports that pay out the most per player for their respective sports championships. So it's pretty awesome how things have gone from like what was a fringe to what is now a mainstream thing. A hunter came by and dropped a big old carcass at your door, boss. Ain't never seen nothing like it. It looks kind of like a saber tusk, but twice as big. When the butcher cut it open, it weren't right inside. It's got 13 ears, he says. Good eating in that, yeah? Put the heart... Oh, I'm sorry, 13 arts, not ears. Whoops. 13 hearts, it says. Put the hearts in the pot, which gives us cooldown to spells reduction. Or, ooh, allow the butcher to experiment. Give me 4,000 bonus experience for diabetes type 2. A VMware engineer. Damn, man. Old timer's all about that remote play. But would you do Hyper-V or VMware? Do you even see Hyper-V becoming big? I mean, you know Microsoft, they're all big with it. That's their baby. VMware stuff is so crazy. I love that. That's the fucking future, man. Alright, so this is... Oh, our Butcher of Beasts. So Meat Cleaver... Actually, let's not do that. Let's get the replenishment and then finish up with...
It cools.
Upgrade any settlement to level 5.
The flames will claim you.
Wasn't it connected with the fact that at a point PCs were made for, well, nerds, basically no GUI, etc., which changed in the 90s? Well, no, I know, old timer. Everyone who... So I used to work at a backup software company, and the engineer always preferred VMware over Hyper-V. And he was like one of the smartest tech people I'd met, next to my brother, who's a front and back end developer. I, on the other hand, just make video game videos. Nowhere near as intelligent as that. Alright, so let's jump on this here elf. We're gonna need some speed here, so we're gonna jack up our pre-battle feast. Oh, I got it, Anthony. Yeah, it's different. Like when you back in like the late 90s, turn of the millennium, when you wanted to build a computer, the things weren't shielded, so you had to wear a bracelet that would tether you, that would ground you onto a piece of metal, typically the computer case. It was way... Computers back then were way different, right? Yeah, it's way better user experience overall nowadays, and it's way easier to crack into stuff, but... I didn't really have much of a problem as a kid. Alright, so we're going to want to eat up all this fire before our ogres jump in on these elves. But we're going to get pretty horny with some vanguard action in these trees over here. Saber tusks? Yeah, saber tusks can kind of swing around out there. Definitely was a Wild West, that's for sure. Especially when it came to like MMOs. Whew! I'm sitting there playing Ultima Online and like fucking 5th grade.
Relentless hunger.
I know they are still, but weren't CPUs so easily breakable, like touching the pins would break them off. Yeah, I mean, if you got If you got finger grease on the top of your CPU, you fucked it up. I mean, that's still kind of the case. You don't want to get finger grease on it. There's a lot more room for error now. Even when if you watch like a Jay's 2 cents video, it's like, don't screw this up, don't do this, don't do that. You can still get away with doing it, but you shouldn't. You know, like, you can't. There was so little margin for error. Like I said, nothing was shielded to. You could touch something on accident and break it. Capacitors were not as nearly as kind of like fleshed out as they are now. You look at a motherboard. I can only see a bank of capacitors on my motherboard. That's it. But back in the day, they're all over the place, and they would sometimes burst. You had a lot to deal with. Dude, Neopets. I remember playing dogs or cats. And that was like, that was it. That was the culmination. Oh, dude, look at all these fucking Weight Watchers going to town on these Noblars. Dude, the ogres are just gonna march across though. Like there's no finesse here. There shan't be. In fact, we're gonna do this. Just go across. Chris Sherrill, thank you very much, man. Just right into that cookie jar over here. Hey, what's hack? Get a little that here. Get a little of this here. Get a little of that over here. In fact, actually this right there. Pull those guys down. Pull them into the Gorger's hungry mouths. Just look at it, dude. They just rip through elves. And this is the way it was in tabletop. Ogres could kick the crap out of elves. You had to stack certain lores of magic to particularly be strong against elves. It was really brutal, to be honest. As someone who mained elves, it was rough and tumble, man. I'm not gonna lie. Oh! I'm not gonna lie to you.
Biggest in the tribe.
I mean, you can see when the elves just like have free reign to shoot apart my ogres, it hurts. What's the lowest in health? These guys. Get that meat cleaver. Get that heal.
Let's go, boys. Bring us meat. Bring us meat. Leggy. Meat! In my guts! Great Moor servant. Servant of the Moor, cleave and gouge. Forever
I don't know why I pressed that.
insatiable. Slice the meat, more souls the way. Fresh meat. Noblars attack!
Too late. Look at, damn, they're getting picked apart over there.
When do we eat? Chopper of entrails.
Is that glowing enough for you? Yes, strategy above all. You lose your entire camp. But you have ways you can, in technology, you can make it so that your camps come out at like growth rank 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. Chris, I don't know about the ogre mating rituals, to be honest. It's not something I'm keen on. Yeah, I like it, Jeremy. I do like the... I love glowing stuff. That's why my whole entire PC is RGB. We definitely don't need meat, but we're going to use a casualty replenishment just to kind of keep ourselves, like, up to snuff here. And I'm honestly going to finish off the Laurel Elves over here. We'll save this again. Auto-resolve. Can't accept my thing. I wonder why. Can I ask you about what, Crazy Cat?
SKRAG, slaughter, servant, ogre violin, the great Moor brigade.
Application related? Here, here's the link again. Maybe it kind of got messed up. I made a new one here for you. The twerkiest in the tribe? Oh my god, man. You're crazy, dude. That's what I like about you, you know? You're just absolutely fucking insane. Dude, Frozen Snake, that made me really sad. About ogre ladies. Hey, so what's the over-under on the ogre ladies, huh? Like, what's the puss situation down south? Because if I'm gonna play ogres, I want to know what kind of crab meat I'm dealing with. Is that how you want me to word it, Crazy Cat? That was honestly very brutal. That was a pretty disgusting set of combination of words I just used right there.
We're being treated like meat.
What's that great maw like? Trying to get some eyes on the, trying to get some optics on the maw. One sec. Oh my god, I got good Kalamata juice down there. Whoa, man, that's even far-fetched for me to say. Oof. Yeah, but like, do they? That's like a really good question, you know? Alright, guys. We've come up to the time where... Oh, by the way, end the poll. Who wins? I've seen the movie Teeth. I know what you're talking about. 36% for Undivided, 25% Kairos, 23% Cougs, 14% Nakari. So we're going to go ahead and end our stream here for the day. And what we're going to do is come back on Thursday on launch day. We'll start the first episode of the campaign that we will play to completion. I'm going to start a poll starting probably tonight or tomorrow that just says like, hey, what campaign do you want to see? We'll start by talking about, I'll ask in that poll, demons, Kislev, Cathay, or ogres, and once we pinpoint the race, we'll then go into the individual lore. I actually probably won't put ogres on the list, to be totally honest. But let's go ahead and give some thank yous out. We have quite a few donations. We still have the largest donation of the day. The largest donation, probably the largest single donation of my YouTube career. Easily, hands down, $500 goes to Strife, man. So thank you very much, Strife. We'll open up the thank yous with him. Hey, Eli! Thank you very much for becoming a member. Members also help me out a ton because it's pretty much like reliable income. Like I cannot tell you guys, it's so good. Yeah, no ogres in the list, to be totally honest. I think that Socotra, no, I don't know. And we will do, what I'm gonna do is probably have a series of streams running. I'm gonna be streaming a lot more soon. Where I'll have one CK3 and one Warhammer 3 stream going, and we'll do a CK3 campaign and a Warhammer 3 campaign, and I want to maybe do something like maybe France, maybe establish the Kingdom of Portugal. I've thought of some things and what we'll go into. I actually thought about setting up the Outremer Empire by going ahead and doing that portion of the campaign first, then setting up basically a Crusader state and going from there. But let me go through some thank yous here. We got, again, quite a bit of donations here. So, guys, thank you very much for being so generous. Captain Diabetes opening us up with 50 Norwegian kronu. Thank you very much. And also, let me also just quickly shout out anyone who's purchased through my Nexus store link during this stream. Thank you very much. Very, very much appreciated. It helps support the channel in a huge way. So thank you very, very much. But we also got Mark Barbara becoming a new member of the channel. We have that guy you know with his $5 donation. We also have Curtis Renton, who purchased and tipped as well. He threw a $5 donation in there. Thank you very much. Gregory Shin with the $10 donation. Strife of 6 again with the massive $500 donation. That was so fucking huge. John Brannigan with a £20 donation. Another $5 donation for someone who purchased through the Nexus store. Raheem with a $1 donation. Cap with a $20 donation as well. Old Timer with a 10 buckaroo. Mac with a $5 slammer. And I think that's it. Yeah, those are our donations here for the day. Thank you very much here for watching, guys. It's been a lot of fun going through these campaign previews with you. This concludes my campaign previews. We won't be doing any more. I think with the game coming out around the corner, what you guys want now is just straight up guides to help you jump into the game. Love you too, Alpaca. We're going to be doing a campaign easiest to hardest guide that'll come out in just a little bit. So you'll have an idea of which campaign's the easiest, which one's the hardest, and gives you maybe a better sense of what to jump into when that campaign starts. Or I'm sorry, when the game launches here on the 17th. Tomorrow we'll have the Grease's Gold Tooth campaign overview, so you can see exactly, or I'm sorry, the SKRAG the Slaughterer one coming out tomorrow. You can see what comes out, what comes in. You've kind of seen what's going down here with SKRAG, but for those that wanted to know spoiler breakdown, it is going to be there for you. And then we'll have a beginner's guide and a beginner's combat guide coming out in the 2 days of the day of launch and the day after launch. So you'll have all that to consume, with plenty of Warhammer 3 to consume this week, bros. So get amped up. You have one more day until you can preload, and then 2 more days after that until you can play the game. If you're over here on the West Coast, that means at midnight you can play the game, coming from the 16th to the 17th. I'm on the West Coast, so I'll be playing with you bros hand in hand come the 17th. But thank you guys all so much for watching here today. Thank you again so much for the donations. Thank you, everyone. We'll begin. My brain's like shit right now. I gotta eat. We'll be coming back again on Thursday with another stream, starting with the actual campaign stream. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, all that fun action if you're watching after the fact. But take care, stay safe, wash your fucking hands, and we'll be back again on Thursday. Guess I'll be getting no sleep. You won't be getting any sleep, 14 Vindex. But alright, my bros, have a good one. Take care.